Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chapter 10 of Story 2 of the Werewolf the Forsaken Chronicle Very Angry Dogs with storyteller Chris Allen. Thanks for joining us. I know we've had a 2-week hiatus, but we are excited to pick up where we left off. Speaking of where we left off, Chris, why don't you bring everyone up to speed?
Okay, yes, to start with the usual.
Really?
On cue, he freezes.
Various members of the group.
We lost you, Chris. You froze the moment I said,
hello.
Take it away.
Oh, did I freeze something? Okay, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's try that again. So, as per usual, content warning, horror, violence, body horror, occult horror. Some other just admin notes. We've shifted to Sunday streaming at the moment to get to the end of the story due to some scheduling shifts with members of the group. And as a note and as a preemptive apology, I may need to pop off briefly to take a phone call due to some personal matters during the show. Hopefully it won't happen, but if it does, I will need to take that call. Ag's camera has become
Yes, I see that.
non-existent. Okay.
Oh, she's coming back. Here we are.
It's clearly gonna be like that. It's gonna be one of these days, isn't it?
Oh no.
She's completely gone. She's coming back. I apologize. This isn't the most competent beginning to a stream, but there we go. Where we left things off last time, the pack had gone through the shadow into Glisham to seek out what they believed was a key location to the origins or the source of their enemy's spirit patron, Guilty Earth, since buried deep. They breached into the building, made a deal with the door spirit to shatter the door that it is the spirit of, which was all unexpected. They encountered some spirits of numbers, maths, and money, who warned that Johnny has a particular scent. There is something, the dragon of numbers is hunting him. And they then made their way through to the lower areas of a sort of place that isn't, a very weird place in the shadow under the building, which appears to be a sort of a pit of half-buried bodies with a strange stele in it. And some sort of contraption and a simple hole through the gauntlet, possibly chewed by Bashilu. A contraption to bring people through. The man who was in the cage brought through the shadow has been knocked unconscious by the pack after he entered lunacy. The pack have gone through the other side to find what appears to be basically a small cult hall but in the basement of the building and generally trashed it. And then they ended up in a fight with the fear spirits there, who have been empowered by their patron, the Guilty Earth. They turned out to be a lot harder than expected for a bunch of ranked spirits due to this. The pack had taken out 3 of the 6 when the Guilty Earth arrived. It ripped apart matter, bodies from the ground, pulled them up into the air, and forged itself from them. The Guilty Earth is large, it's very big. It is composed of a mixture, a mad melange of earth, corpse material, bones, twisted faces, and striations of pulsing void and darkness, some of which are speckled with starlight. Now, before we kick off with where we're at, we are mid-combat. Stormbringer may be in Garu form. There, but I can't remember for sure.
I don't think I was yet.
No, you guard because I think you were having issues with this guy.
You were having issues with the one you were fighting, I think. The pack had taken out half. The other half have been slapping all sorts of penalties and things on the pack and draining people's essence and willpower. The Guilty Earth have formed and slammed down and is top of the initiative chamber. We'll get to that in a moment. There is the option here, if the pack wish, to drop out of combat and try talking with Sins Buried Deep. The key person who gets to decide that, not necessarily. Stormbringer is first on the pack's initiative roster, although he's not first on the initiative roster. So, partly going to depend on what Stormbringer decides to do, to some extent.
We're so dead.
As a reminder, the Guilty Earth is buttressed and banded with powers, with empowering, basically like the fear spirits when they boosted their stats. They sort of bulked out and weird. Something similar is breaching and warping the form of guilty earth. It is spent large amounts of essence to boost its stats, so it has really quite chunky dice pools and stats. But you don't know what those are exactly, other than that it's showing the visual signs of having spent essence to do stat boosts. Rank 4 spirits, spirits can boost any given stat, and they can do all of them. It takes a lot of essence by their rank +2. Your guesstimations that Guilty Earth is therefore rank 3, 4, or 5 means he's boosted his stats by 5, 6, or 7, which is obviously quite chunky. There is something key to note. When it manifested here, all of your essence, even those of you who are out of essence, your body always contains a certain amount of residual essence flowing through you. When you have come into contact with the stone hearth under the barrow, you felt a very strange sense at that point, as if something was trying to ignite something in your blood, as if there was like a sort of something was trying to kickstart to power, but there wasn't enough of it to do it. You are getting a very similar sense in the presence of Guilty Earth. Its presence is causing something in your blood and in your essence, in your flesh and in your soul to rev up, but it's not intense enough. The presence of whatever it is isn't strong enough to get it to go fully booted up into full whatever the fuck it is mode. You're not quite sure what it is. So, when we crash back into the scene, the pack are scattered around. You've taken down 3 of the fear spirits. Of the remaining ones, there are 2 with spears, with these shadow spears, and 1 with a shimmering shield of darkness. The other 3 have been discorporated or fed. Actually, I think when you dismasked them, they just ran. Guilty Earth, the Gilden Earth has just landed, shaking the shadow flesh of this place. So, top of the initiative round is Sins Buried Deep. It rears up, and it is something like humanoid. It's about 20 feet tall, and its arms branch into 2 sets of arms on each side, which knuckle down to the ground, each with a big, meaty palm of grave earth. There is something strange about the face, where a face might be. It's flickering between different forms. The face you see, 4 images are flickering across it. The first is something like a woman's face, very pale, almost white. When I say white, I don't mean white-skinned, a normal thing. I mean literally almost white, although human-ish. Eyes glimmering with something like silver. That's the first feminine face. The second face is a bloodied, wind-tousled, long, lank-haired face. That Thornbreaker you recognize intimately from your vision of the man who was burying bodies. That is the face. The third face is one that seems familiar-ish when it flickers past, when you briefly see it, but it's hard to place exactly where until you see the fourth face. But stern, frowning, intense, and coming apart almost. It's rippling and warping in broken ways. The fourth face is that of Corley Hawkhurst. And when you see that face, you realize the reason the third face is familiar is it's a family resemblance between the third face and Corley. These are the 4 faces flickering across the presence in front of you. The Sins Buried Deep, Shadow Lord of Gleesham, slams down to the ground, rears up to look upon the pack who are you desecrating the place? Are you fighting? What exactly are you doing in its awareness? Who knows? Looks upon you and speaks in a chorus of voices. And you hear these 4 voices. One is Corley Hawkhurst's voice. One is tremulous male young man. One is a deep-throated older man. And then there is a song-like voice, which strikes you as closest that you would be aware of as it sounds like a loon's voice. And it speaks. It does not speak in human tongue, of course. It speaks in first tongue. and it says to you, what's the first reaction to you going to be given everything going down? And it goes, cease your struggling, intruders. That is its action, top of the initiative round. Stormbringer, you're up next.
All right, boys. Let's do this. I turn and attack. No, I'm kidding. So I'm going to drop to Dalu, right? Dalu?
Okay.
Dalu, yeah, I'm going to drop to Dalu because we're dropping out of combat, or at least I am.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm going to turn directly to my Spirit Man. Thornbreaker, if you would please negotiate a little. Because
so,
despite the fact that I know that I tend to get the better rolls, I got nothing on what to talk to this dude about. I'm gonna be honest here. Like, Stormbringer knows that we're fucked if we fight, but he got nothing to talk about. Like, his instinct is kill this thing.
So, seeing Stormbringer backing down,
wait.
spirits...
Potato wants to introduce himself.
And we have a new visitor. A new pack member.
It's a potato!
It's a tiny potato.
Oh,
so small.
little
Such a
dude.
tiny.
The littlest wolf-blooded has joined us.
Oh,
Introduced
so
to the world.
small.
I love it.
He's so little.
Yep, super small.
All right, little potato.
Dinker.
Time to go with Mama.
Smallest wolf pup.
What's up?
Uh,
I'll heat one up for you.
The slightly decent stage when they are not capable of rampaging around by themselves.
Yes, I just have to go heat up a bottle for the little
Okay.
one. I'll be right
So,
back.
presuming everyone else doesn't engage in combat, then we'll be dropping out of combat for now. Out of the
I
initiative
won't
tracker.
engage in combat.
The three masked fear spirit obey their liege. They back up, sort of flank the noble, and the thing turns its flickering multifold face towards the pack in expectation, having seen Stormbringer kind of gesture to someone else to step up.
Well, I kind of look at both Harmonious Flame and Thornbreaker because I know these two are the ones who keep pushing me to be diplomatic.
Sure.
And my version of diplomacy is claws and teeth. So.
Okay, so they turn and we're in talking time. All right, so I do have Voice of Glory active because I had activated it during this scene last time we played, which is going to improve my... that is going to improve my first impression by 1 step.
Yep, what's up? You're waving your finger.
So if we're jumping off combat time, then I'm gonna butt in here. Harmonious Flame looks like several pieces of the puzzle have just clicked into place, and she's like, and then leads to Thornbreaker. Says, "It's a maggot. It's a void maggot."
Oh, it's even worse!
Wait, what?
No.
Oh God, that's why. Wait.
She said it's a Magath first. So Magath are the hybrid spirits that are two concepts that shouldn't be meshed together. The ones that tend to be mad, and she said it's a void Magath.
And that's why our blood is stirring so much around this thing.
So this is bad juju.
It's the Magath of a spirit that should not be on this planet with something else.
Oh, great.
God. This deal gets worse all the time.
So.
I'm lost. Yeah, well, Stormbringer is kind of lost anyway, so that makes sense. I was like, I don't know what a maggot is. Like a void maggot. What the fuck? Do I hear her say this?
Yes, yeah.
Was that actually like? Is that something you say, or is that something that you're assigning to Thornbreaker?
Oh, that's.
You have keen enough senses; you will be able to hear what she says to even as an aside to the pack.
Okay. So
If her shul faces can go slackjaw, Johnny's face is going slackjaw at that mention.
All right, so Thornbreaker is going to step slightly out in front of the pack to the Great Spirit and show deference, and will say, Great Spirit Noble, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
There is a long moment of no response as he is simply observing you with this weird flickering interstitial set of faces. You're not quite sure if it's waiting for you to say more or if it's comprehending what you're saying or what. If what Harmony's Flame has said is true, God knows what this thing passes for this thing's thought processes.
We have come to negotiate with you.
You came here to my place. You have attacked my servants. You have intruded. You have passed boundaries. Why?
As to why we attacked some of your servants, it is because a spirit of your caliber needed to know that we were worth speaking with. We had to prove our strength.
You have cost me much essence to gird myself and be here, to gird my servants. You have cost me this.
Then it is fitting that we are here to strike a bargain with you that will yield more resources for you.
What is your bargain?
We know that you feed from the fear that is spread by the one known as the Architect, Hawkhurst. Hawkhurst has become a bit of a nuisance for our pack. We have come to offer something of a trade. If you are willing to reap your investment in Hawkhurst, to eliminate this nuisance for us, in return, we will create more fear than Hawkhurst ever did. You currently have one ghost wolf that is spreading fear for you. Imagine how much more fear a trained pack of Uratha could do.
For the record, when he says that we'll create fear, this kind of weird twisted smirk comes onto Stormbringer's face. He likes the sound of this.
The spirit tilts and twists as its face is flickering back and forth, looks closer at you. What is an Uratha?
Interesting. Okay. Consider us the ancient guardians of the veil between the world of spirit and flesh.
Why were you not there?
Where?
She was there. You were not. Why were you not there?
She was there, you were not. Are you referring to Luna?
Our mother.
No.
Oh.
She was there alone. You were not. You say you are guardians, but there was no guardian.
Oh,
He's probably referring to the old wolf.
the great Anguirus?
There are many places to be guarded. We came to this place in her absence.
Why were there no Uratha if you are guardians? This says your words are not aligned with what was. What bargain can be cemented upon such symbols that flow with incorrectness?
Chris, thought, would a Magath have any reaction to me flaring my honor?
Maybe.
It's not like a, hey, you're calling us out on our honor, and here's mine proven, carved onto me by spirit brothers. Like, I'm swearing on the honor carved into my flesh type thing.
Yes, you can. It will. It's hard to tell how it will take it for two reasons. Firstly, because Magath do tend to be nuts, and secondly, Almost Flame says this is avoid Magath, and Stormbringer's going, what the fuck is that? So you may be in the, well, what the fuck, so you can't be certain that would definitely have a positive reaction, but on the other hand, it might. It's unlikely to go nuts and berserk because you do it, probably, but you never can be sure with these things.
Okay, so and Dan, just if I can aside really quick for my pack, just to make sure I'm understanding what he's saying. Are you guys getting the same drift that he's basically saying that we can't be trusted because our words, what Dan is saying doesn't quite align with what he's experienced?
The spirit is saying that your claim that Uratha are a guardian between the border cannot be true because in whatever circumstance it is referring to, there were no Uratha. Therefore, the statement can't be true. Probably is what it's saying.
Do you know of Father Wolf?
The name is a symbol printed deep into the flesh, but it is not known to me. It was known to her.
Can I shift into Hishu? I might have enough facial similarity to her that he might recognize me somewhat, but I don't know.
Yeah, you shift up. It doesn't seem to pay any heed to you in particular.
Maybe talking about the first face then.
The what?
The face, the woman's face that flickered when it arrived.
Oh, the first face, yeah.
Which is definitely not the old wolf face.
No.
And if they came in any sort of sequence, then that might have been the first. I don't know what, but it would have been old, super old.
Yeah.
Because the second one was from Anglo-Saxon times.
Yeah.
Your words, your symbols you print with your tongue, they do not make sense. You say I should consider the guilty child for setting aside. This cannot be done. I cannot give up part of what has made me me.
Not giving up so much as fully incorporating him into you.
I was going to say the same thing, Dan. Thank you.
To consume him.
Make as one.
Then there will be nothing to feed from. He will no longer feel guilt.
Which is why
he would be
Uh,
gone. I understand emptiness. I understand endings. I understand what it is to be gone.
We will be that which you can feed on.
Oh, God.
Your words are strange. You must be mad.
Hold on.
We get that a lot.
Roll this back a little bit. Did anybody else pick up on that?
On
He
what?
doesn't feed on fear.
Oh, yeah, he
He
feeds on guilt.
Sure.
Chris, is there a courthouse or a court in our municipality?
Not in Gleesham, no. You'd have to go further afield to find a proper courthouse. There's
Not
a police
in our
station.
territory. What if we did that, guys?
Relocate the
Relocate
spirit.
him to the police station where he can feed on all the guilt he wants.
See, I kind of feel that's the whole point of Hawkhurst's elevator setup here. I'm just really pissed off that he eliminated a locust on the territory, but.
I mean, if we relocate him, he can feed on all the guilt he wants without draining us of anything. He's not interested in fear. His minions are fear spirits, but that's not his bag.
Right.
His bag is guilt. So it doesn't matter, and I'm never gonna feel guilty about fucking planting my foot up what's his face's ass, and I'm gonna continue to do that as often as I can. So...
Alright, Thornbreaker's gonna gamble, guys. If it doesn't work out.
No.
If
Time
it
to
doesn't
run.
work out, I love you all.
I'm gonna turn into Urshul again.
I'm gonna shift towards the elevator.
Yeah,
Yes,
Thornbreaker.
I'm with Flame.
Thornbreaker spares a glance back at his pack and sort of gives them a knowing nod. He takes another step forward and he says, "Taste of my guilt. See if it is to your palate."
Oh, because he feels guilty about the first day.
I feel guilty about everything. That is Thornbreaker's one constant emotion.
You offer this taste. What do you seek in return for it? And what is this taste traded?
I have told you. We guard the place between the spirit and the flesh, and Hawkhurst has created disturbances in the flesh that we can no longer tolerate. I ask that you remove that part of the equation for us, and in return I will provide you with a source of guilt that will sustain you for many years.
Oh, no.
No, you do not understand. Your words are strange. You are mad. I shall explain again. That bargain is another bargain. This bargain for this taste to see if this guilt that you drip with is of what I am. For this taste, what do you desire?
Let my packmates go.
Oh, no.
This is not a bargain. I did not seek to stop them. What do you seek for this taste?
Can you free the human girl known as Jenny from Hawkhurst's grasp?
I could make her feel so much guilt that she ends. That would free her. Is that what you desire?
No. I wish for Hawkhurst
I
to
could
relinquish.
annihilate her form and turn her to dust. This would free her. Is that what you desire?
No. Could you make her like us?
Mad.
No.
Yes, I could make her mad.
Anurasa, you have the power of a loon, do you not?
I do not have that. It seems to the faces are flickering slightly as it is struggling to process symbols to give to you that give you a coherent answer. It says something. It says a string of something that sounds like first tongue, but is wrong, like warped first tongue put through distortion. It's actual symbols, but they are. The shadow writhes from contact with them. The air buckles and warps because these are not symbols of this terrestrial shadow. It says, "She was here alone. You were not. It is a lie to what you are, your symbols. She..." And then it seems to sort of come out of it slightly. "I cannot taint you with the Guardian's light. I cannot turn her to your hybridity.
Wait. Taint with Guardian's Light. I'm from a moon phase with no light. Can you taint something with no light with light?
Do you have enough influence over Hawkhurst that you could get him to voluntarily relinquish his claim on her?
I cannot change our admixture. The guilty child conceives of your flesh world through his lens, carefully formed from that which bonds us together. I will not, I cannot command him. What do you desire for this taste? What is the bargain? What is the exchange? What can I give to you?
Can you make me impervious to the powers of the gifts that you have given to Hawkhurst?
Oh God.
I have given him no gifts. I have taken... And again, it seems to contort within itself. I have brought others to him. I have given him nothing. I can render you nothing. I can end you. I can make you... I can give you... I can bring your guilt to you to understand. I know I am many things. I am not a shield. I am not a changer. I am not at peace. I cannot bring these things. I ask again, what should you have in exchange for this offered taste?
So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I turn to Thornbreaker. And I think we might need input from Harmonious Flame here, but what if it's a Magiv of a half of an Elunim and whatever void spirit he is, right?
I do think it's an Illunim of all the Illunds.
Judge. Guilt. No.
That's right.
Your moon is the judge. The judge's moon. Who better to determine guilt than that? Am I right? But it's a moon I'm not familiar with.
You ask for answers?
Answers would be nice, yes.
Ask your question. I will, and we will see if it is a balanced exchange.
And he's all about balance.
Thornbreaker turns back to Harmonious Flame.
Okay. Some suggestions. How did it come to be here? Or
I think Stormbringer might know how it came to be here. Stormbringer? Didn't you see something hurtling down from space?
Yeah, but that was the thing under the As best I can tell,
That's
that's
true.
underneath the glass works.
Never mind.
It's probably a thing for hurtling down from space anyway, but
Hold on. Let's double back here a second. So what we know about let's see what we can use to advantage here, right? He won't directly take care of Hawkhurst for us, right? Because he feeds from Hawkhurst.
Yep. Well, they seem to
more
have
than he feeds from Hook.
they seem to have some sort of like symbiotic relationship at this point, where neither can act against the other.
But we know that Hawkhurst's power as the architect or whatever, I forget what the name of what he's referred to as a tyrant, right? Tyrant? Am I using the right term? Okay, so we know his power as a tyrant is linked to almost that of like he's turned himself into a spirit totem.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do tyrants have bands?
That's a good question.
I'm thinking the way in which they work as a totem, if Guilty Earth can give us the ban of Hawkhurst, he is not directly attacking him, he's not directly interfering with him, but he is the spirit is getting a new source of guilt until we figure something out that's more viable than feeding him Dan. And which I still say police station is the way to go. But we could also figure something else out.
Yes. Yes. So carry on. Sorry.
So they do have bands.
You did get some information about them previously. So yes, they tend to be bound by taboos and so forth, as you would expect from a spirit totem.
Okay. So we now have weapons against Hawkhurst, in that we can enact his bans against him potentially. It has a new source of food until we get it, and it's not directly interfering with Hawkhurst. It's only giving us information. What we do with that information is not what a judge does. It's not balanced. Whether or not the question is whether or not the information is worth the case to get. What we do with that information is entirely up to us, and not in against what his pact is, if you will, with Hawkhurst. We're gonna fucking lawyer our way through this shit.
Yeah.
All right. If I gotta deal with a judge, I'm gonna break out my inner Judy. My inner
Judge Judy here.
Barrister is the appropriate term in England. Chris.
One of the appropriate terms.
Yeah, I'm gonna break out my inner barrister if I gotta freaking deal with a judge. All right.
He is Judge Judy, an executioner.
You know what? Screw it. Is everybody okay with this? Because since it was my idea, Stormbreaker's just going to verbal diarrhea this one.
Verbal diarrhea.
So Stormbreaker's going to finally snap to the conversation and be like, Hawkhurst has bands. You give us the information on what his band, right? Bands would be the right term? Band?
Yes.
Band, okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to think if there's another name for it that's more spirit first tongue friendly.
No, it's banned.
Okay. You inform us as to what his bands are. And you have your taste. You have not acted against him and not acted in violation of your agreement with him.
There is no agreement. There only is us. But your question is a balanced trade.
Oh shit!
Fucking barrister for the win.
Oh, no.
Side
Then
note,
I will.
Years of contract negotiation gets you.
Then I will have this taste, and you will have an answer.
Oh god!
Of course, the answer is not going to be good for us at all.
It's not going to be good for Dan at all.
Come, it points with one massive grave dirt hand at Thornbreaker and says, "Come, false symbol. Let me taste your guilt."
Thornbreaker moves forward.
Right, now he's going to glut himself on a source of his resonance, which is going to involve me rolling quite a lot of dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Is this an influence? Don't die, buddy.
Of dice, and he can't push the talk button.
Oh God.
Right. Okay. So to explain,
Don't die.
to explain, spirits can glut themselves once per day on a source of appropriate resonance. Thornbreaker is a source of appropriate resonance for guilt. To do this, they roll their power plus finesse and gain essence equal to successes. Guilty Earth has just gained 10 essence
Oh God.
by drinking down on Thornbreaker. So it has just seriously tanked back up its otherwise depleted reserves. It's
fuck.
not a small gain on its part at all. It had bent a lot to boost itself. Now it's boosted and it has a load more essence. As you approach, it leans down and the face flickering between them opens its mouth, and your perspective of the world around it and everyone else's perspective sees warping as if its mouth grows to an enormity, as if to encompass you, your head, your face, although it never makes contact, and it draws in and it inhales, and everything that Thornbreaker attempts to keep stamped down, right, it's guilt, that's misery. I can't remember if you've got the guilty condition at the moment. If not,
no, I cleared that.
You've just gained it again.
All right.
It draws all that deep-seated shit up and out and through to the surface, and it drinks deep. Now, from you, I would like as well, with the I would like a wits plus empathy roll from Thornbreaker.
No!
He's not good at this.
Well,
Yep.
Dan, if there's ever a time to be like Mother Luna showed me that I'm really empathic in this situation, that's
you
it.
can pull off your Bod's Possession dream, yeah. It's actually would be quite relevant to this role, actually, if you took the bonus. Now I think about it.
It would be. So that gives me another, 3 dice?
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, Sidekick appears to be offline, so it's just tormenting me. Alright.
Real dice. Real
Real
dice.
dice time. Let's get some real dice out.
Yo, whip out that green D10 that hates us.
Seriously, the one that fucking always rolls 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Alright, let's see where we go. Major vampire dice, kids.
I feel like mage is more appropriate.
Mage for magic-y things? That's fair.
Yeah.
Which one do you usually fuck us with? That's the question.
No.
7, okay. Alright, let's see.
Wait, we don't want the dice he fucks us with because then they'll roll
Right,
no
that's what I said.
successes.
Which one does he normally fuck us with?
I got an 8 and a 10. Let's reroll the 10. That's another 10. Oh no, I don't get 10 again.
You son of a bitch!
So, what was your total?
2. 2 was my
Okay.
total.
So, the Gilded Urta draws forth your guilt, and you feel everything that Thornbreaker feels guilty shit about well right up to the surface. It drinks deep. There is some distortion to this, possibly because it is a Magath and it is not simply a spirit of guilt. It is searching as if it is blindly searching for another form of essence amongst your pattern, which it cannot find. But it still drinks deep, far deeper than you would like, of your emotions and your history, pulling all this stuff out. Perhaps because it is Magath, perhaps because of other elements to what's going on here, perhaps because of the dreams you've been having and the way they seem to rope together. Nonetheless, this is... When I say this two-way, it is not, unfortunately, an essence flow into you, but you learn something of this thing as it interfaces its essence with your own to draw forth from you. You have what is somewhat like a juddering, flickering mass of prophetic vision interwoven, but it's not quite the same thing. This is not something gifted to you by Luna. This is anchoring on those engrams in your mind, anchoring on those memories. Something else is being drawn forth from this thing's burbling mass of something that approximates to memory. It is an incoherent mass, a mess. This spirit is a twisted amalgamation of stuff that should not be stitched together like this. You experience a fourfold perspective. Given you are usually limited to one point in the space-time continuum, this is quite disorientating. However, this thing has become pinioned on 4 streams of something like guilt, and they interweave into its makeup. One of them is this, and you know this as if you were this person, although it is as alien to you as in a way as the guilty earth is. The first is this: you did this without command. You did this in a place that you could not be commanded to go to, because there is a hole in the sky and she cannot see here. But you saw, so you took matters into your own command. You came here because you were needed. You came here because the werewolves were not here. And you worked with what you had. They called you many names. In the end, they thought you blessed. But you feel guilt for what you did. Because you disobeyed. Well, you did not obey her. You were not given this command. And for what you did to the people who followed you, to make them the tools you needed them to be. You know what happens to people who are claimed, because you did it yourself to be here. And they will call you saint, but they paid a price for it. You know that as if it were you. You know this as well. There was no other way, you tell yourself. You had to do what you did. You killed her. Almost. She's still twitching, but you killed her, or she will die. But she and the others all have to die. It is the only way to stop this and hold this back. There's a twisted knot here of guilt, bound round people you loved, people you cared for, people you hated. But now, nonetheless, you know that their deaths are your fault because you took that decision. You are also this. You are a failure. No matter what you've done in your life, it is never enough. It will never be enough. You believe desperately in this God-forsaken country full of other people who don't really believe anymore, but you do. You believe in God. You believe in a harsh and jealous God. And you look on this world around you with disgust. But you are being tested. You are being tested by the boy. It is a test sent by God. There's something wrong with the boy. The boy is a witch or something. The things that happen with his flesh, the changes. Yes, the boy is a test from God. You've failed throughout your life, but maybe you don't have to be a failure now. But what do you do with a test like this? What do? You hurt him. And you tell yourself it is because of God and your faith. But you're afraid that even now you're going to be a failure. And your perspective is this. You killed him. He won't be the only person you kill. Things are strange now, different. But you still hurt. And you have killed him. Because he hurt you. Or is that why? You don't really understand. You don't really know how you've come to be like this. But you killed him. He said you were a monster. He said you were evil. He said you were all sorts of things. Obviously, he was right. Those are the fourfold perspectives that stream through you. They are threads of something anchoring this thing. You know You don't know whether these are related to the ban or the bane, but something about those with guilt who have borne this thing's metaphysical weight is tied into its ban and its bane. And then the connection releases, and you feel drained, and you feel guilty, and you feel like someone's been rushing us through.
If Stormbreaker's about to collapse, I just try to get in and try to catch him.
This connects to your visions, you are sure. Parts of it do anyway. You know her. You saw from her eyes before. The connection, the first one, the one who claimed, the one who gave those people who claimed, those are the eyes you saw out of when the second one was burying you in the vision. That is the thread you pulled yourself into this thing's metaphysical presence with. And that tied in perhaps the rest. You know somehow that these remnants, these people or their remains, are somehow tied into this thing's ban and bane. That's as much as you get there. It sort of slumps back. You get the impression from the spirit that is almost not torpid exactly, but has drunk very deeply from the packmate. And then it speaks. It says this. The guilty child is bound by his guilt, by our bound guilt. He is bound by what made him, bound by what woke me. He has the ashes in a jar. He goes to them and begs forgiveness, or he rants in rage, or he demands, or he pleads, and it is rich with guilt. It is the center, the fulcrum of his collapse. It is the anchor that weighs him down. No matter what power he takes, no matter what lives he dominates, he always comes back to the ashes. He must. He is compelled to, because that is the symbol of his existence. That is the answer. False symbol. That exchange is made. Your guilt is worthy of drinking deep. False symbol. It says to Thornbreaker, I accept this is indeed a rich brew to drink of. I cannot do what you want. I cannot give up the guilty child for you. But I think you a worthy broth to drink of. Perhaps there can be more bargains in future.
Thornbreaker weakly nods.
Lurches back slightly. This is mine, this place. You have broken boundaries and intruded here.
You should leave.
Sorry about the door, bro.
Oh my god.
The doors precede him, but isn't. Yes, you haven't smashed the
I
door yet.
say that. That was
We have
a
not
joke.
smashed the doors yet.
I was joking with the sorry about your door, bro.
Oh wait, I feel really bad for the doors. Can he drink of my guilt so he does not do anything to the poor door spirit? Because we kind of said that we would make sure no harm comes to the door spirit. So I feel really bad if something has to happen to that door spirit right now.
I don't know. Johnny isn't quite the heady mixture of guilt that Thornbreaker is. You know,
No, I'm not. I don't have that heavy guilt mixture to door.
he does not live a life of regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
He doesn't feel bad about breaking those shitty sunglasses?
Ag's trying to talk.
If we go through the flesh, then we can destroy the door on our way out.
You do realise that will involve trashing the door, however, at the moment. But okay, yeah, fine.
What's wrong with trashing the door? It's nighttime, right?
Sorry, just being menaced by.
There are cameras. That's what's wrong.
So we go through the flesh as wolves, and they'll never know. The
There are
pack of wild wolves up inside this building and for their way out.
If you violate my boundaries again without permission, I will destroy you in balance for your actions.
Okay.
That's fair.
Right. So how do we keep up our agreement with the door?
So you agreed with the door. You agreed you were going to take this guy out. So the door. You agreed you were going to take this guy out.
That's not happening.
You need to smash the physical door as well. Now, those agreements do not necessarily need to be fulfilled right now.
Right.
Although obviously, if you just if it gets out that the door did a backstab and then the door gets destroyed by the spirit, then other spirits might be like, but yeah, you want on an urgency to fulfill immediately, but yeah, you probably don't want to leave it too long. So, Gildenurter seems content to let you leave. It does not seem to consider the death of its minions as a meaningful price that you must pay for. It's mostly annoyed that you're here at all, I think, in as much as anything this feels irritation. But it's hard to tell, even by spirit standards. This thing has gaps in its behavior that you wouldn't necessarily expect from a spirit dealing. Like the fact it has gone, you breached my boundaries, I'll kill you in future, but it hasn't gone now. It hasn't demanded recompense, which is odd. It is a void Magath, however, so what's the pack going to do?
Are we moving through flesh or through spirit?
So it's nighttime, right? So if we just show up in the flesh on cameras all of a sudden, that's gonna look bad, and we've got the coppers after, and we've already pissed off the coppers.
Pack of wild wolves breaking out the door.
All right, you know what? That's just gonna make our jobs harder in the future as wolves. There's wild wolves loose in Dorset now. How are there wild wolves lost in Dorset? This is the most managed countryside on the planet.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
In the country where there are no wolves.
I'm sorry, you broke up a lot.
Country where there are no wolves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So
I have a way to shut down the cameras, but I then will not have the.
Oh no, we have more freezy people.
Freezy pups.
Technical difficulties.
You're back.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, sorry, Ag's Discord crashed. Yes, okay, looks like we're all back.
Did you get what I said? I said I can turn off the cameras, but then I won't be able to open the doors.
With magic gifts, you can still open doors. It's just without gifts.
Yeah.
That would be wildly entertaining, though. If she didn't have essence, she couldn't open doors. It was like some weird spirit agreement.
Hold on. So what you're telling me is she can break the cameras, and then the problem is a couple of doors?
Well, it's not a couple of doors. It's the one door that is downstairs in the basement that is like Uber door.
Yeah, but you're on the inside of that. You could open it and go out.
But this is also Stormbringer, breaker of things.
Breaker of doors.
All right, I don't.
Stormbringer, breaker of doors. Turn off the cameras. I'll take care of the rest.
We could then destroy that front door so that.
Indeed, on our way out.
Way out.
Yeah.
So here's the question: should we be like, yo? By the way, we made a deal with your door spirit.
No.
No, we're not bringing this up. We're not bringing this up. We're not bringing this up. He actually does not know how we got in so far, so that's good.
Right. We made a deal with your door spirit. What was the deal?
No, we have to break the door. We have to break the door on his way out, on our way out, and that you don't seek retribution against you for what
If
they
that's
did.
a live omission, then we've got to roll for it. I don't trust it. Let's just get the hell out of here.
All right,
Let's just
fine.
get the hell out of Dodge.
Ag, you turn off the
Right.
cameras. I'll take care of the doors.
So you are exiting through the flesh, then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Destroy the elevator to go through because, as you remember, the cage is wedged in.
Which there is space for you to get past the edges of it through the rift, regardless. You have broken it halfway through, but you can get through the rift regardless.
Do you think he'll be
Okay.
pissed off if we
Is the
break it
dude
more?
still in the cage?
Yeah, there's an unconscious guy in the cage still.
Can we get the guy out?
I'm gonna look at Guilty Earth. He's coming with me. Rip.
Oh no.
So you're trying to basically, you're going to snap the rest of the thing holding up.
Y'all think we should save this dude or fuck him? Leave him behind as like an act of goodwill.
So Thornbreaker gets a little dark sometimes because part of his whole thing with the Oath of the Moon is like the herd must not know. We don't have ways of like glamoring people's minds, so he's like, this dude's seen a lot of shit.
I think Lunacy might have taken care of that.
What? Who took care of it?
Lunacy might have taken care of that.
Oh, that's right.
Does Guilty
There
Earth
was
need him to
notice
be
of that.
alive to feed from him?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Does Guilty Earth need him to be alive to feed from him?
Yes.
Guilty Earth has said nothing about the guy at all, as far as he's completely ignored the presence of this hapless dude.
I say we save him. He might be
Save-
a valuable resource in the future.
At the
He
very
has
least, save and then check him on the bus.
he has not seen either myself or Ag, so we can still go chat
Hold on.
him up.
Hold on.
You guys do what you want to do. Everything I've tried to be nice to in the last 24 hours has tried to kill me, so I'm gonna tap out on this one.
Hold on. Does Sidekick have a coin toss thing?
You'll just have to. I think psychic dice isn't working at the moment. So
Yeah,
you literally just have to
Sidekick
coin.
is sleeping at the moment.
Okay, hold on. I will be right back. I have to go get a coin. Give me a second.
Stormbringer's
God.
morality needs to be sorted with a coin toss.
Sounds
His
about
heart
right. That adds up. The math is there. Math checks out.
50%. Am I going to be a nice guy? 50% if I'm going to be a dick.
Ag, how are you
100
trying to take out the cameras?
With the shutdown gift.
Yep, okay, just checking which one it was you had. That is
Yeah.
fine.
So Pete, Dan, you're on the side of save him as well, right? I can't hear either of you.
I'm
I was
saying
Sorry, we were just commenting on the intricacies of my gift.
Okay.
Ag and I-
You're on the side of save him.
yes.
Ag.
I think
Sorry,
she
what?
wants to save the dude.
I want to save him, yes.
Okay. And Dan, you're on the side to kill him.
Thornbreaker's really not getting involved.
No, you're on the side to kill him. Let's not backpedal here.
I'm not backpedaling. Thornbreaker is very self
Guilty.
focused
Okay.
at the moment. He's just
Ag,
sulking.
heads or tails?
Heads.
Oh god.
Ah! Oh, yeah.
We're playing by football rules.
I'll reflip it so that the camera can see. All right, ready?
Oh god. That's a heads.
The guy lives.
All right.
So,
Okay.
Stormbringer is going to, because I'm in Dalu, as I hop down through the hole, I'm going to grab the bottom of the cage and yank so it comes through with me.
The what you'll probably do is yeah, no, that'll work. Okay, so with the strength, you yank through the contraption through. I assume the pack are all moving through to the flesh now. Guilty Earth remains on the other side, watching as you go, mostly watching Thornbreaker as you go. And you descend into the flesh. You find yourself in this little sort of secret clubhouse hall with flayed flesh on the mannequins and stuff. Yank the thing through. You can open it up on the other side here if you want to get the guy out, or are you just going to leave him here, or are you going to take him with you?
I'm taking him with me. I have a plan.
Okay, right, Ag, are you using shutdown then?
Yes.
Give me the dice roll.
My whole 4 dice with no willpower.
Oh god.
Yes, there's a success.
Okay,
Yes.
you hear when loads of electronic stuff turns off, you hear the ooh, way throughout the building. as she sort of snaps her finger, and the lights all die. All the power stuff on the electronic magnetic locks on the door in front of you go off, and the building just generally shuts down. Your own, if any of you have phones on them, they're probably not working as well. But basically, she kills all the low level, the electrical stuff, and the lights. So you're going to leave out the door through here, dragging the guy along with you. He's still out cold. Through some corridors of the main part of the building, where again this building's been given to businesses and stuff. You pass the plaques by the entrances. Sorry,
are we breaking the door?
No, I have a thought. Ag, how long does this last?
I'm checking.
one scene.
Okay, Pete. There's
No.
a tax office in here, right?
Oh God.
One that the number crunchers ambush
Well,
you
we've got cover of darkness. Let's go fucking fix your tax problem.
That's not. No, it's an accountant's, not.
And
a
the
tax
computers are off. How am I fixing a tax problem right now? Everything's digital.
It's
But the taxes are not handled by one person. The taxes are handled by a central place.
So maybe there's some paperwork on who sent this numbers dragon after me. I'll give you that, but that's about it.
Go check that accounting office quick, bro. While we have a minute before we break the door in.
Okay.
Can I make a witness investigation roll?
Yes, you can. So you're busting down the door to the accountancy, going into the offices there. All right, make the roll.
Meanwhile, Thornbreaker is just laying down in the hallway in despair.
And I presume when you leave the building, you're going to basically tear the actual front door off its hinges and give it a kicking and rip it apart. And generally,
I was actually going to throw the guy through it.
Oh, that's not saving him.
No. I want to kind of like gang beat him. So that so the cops find him. So if he starts spouting off about wolves and werewolves and shit, they think he's crazy because he got mugged.
Oh God, it's still not working.
To be fair, if you start spouting off like wolves and werewolves and shit, if they are normal police, they will probably think he's pretty crazy anyway.
All right.
Okay, never mind. I take that back.
Psychic's not working.
No, we know. Yes, like you have to roll dice or use something else to do the roll.
Oh God. 1, 2, 3, 4 with an explosion. 4 successes. So close to that.
Okay. Let me actually check something here. So, where is the?
Oh, and Chris, I'm also going to use. So hopefully this will, put very little presence of my absence here. Can I activate a gift?
Yes.
Where is it? So would slip away help in not leaving any evidence behind?
I can't remember exactly what the wording is, but I don't think so. I think it makes people forget your presence. I don't think it does the other thing.
Chris, is there a maintenance closet or a maintenance room?
Yeah, what are you thinking of here? What are you hoping for?
I was thinking we could maybe break in and steal some like paint or something from the maintenance room.
Oh my God.
And just make it look like the place was vandalized and not robbed.
Kind
of covering our tracks with the rosin.
They probably not one with paint and stuff, unless you want to go for a good search through the building, going for a real hunt around for it.
Okay.
All the way to Hawkhurst's little copy room, then we can get the authorities to him.
Is it Hawkhurst's building?
The problem is that there's a hole in the reality, so I don't know if we want to draw attention to it.
Yes.
Yeah, if you do draw the attention of the authorities to the basement with its secret clubhouse and the hole in reality, they might discover the hole in reality, which could be unfortunate.
Hold on. So this is Hawkhurst's building? Yes.
No. To clarify, Hawkhurst's company was the one that built the building, and he has control of the basement space here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right. What's up, Johnny?
Feet of mist. All attempts to track or locate the route to fail. I leave no tracks. No device can give up my location. So
okay.
I'm hoping that
you won't leave any tracks here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So with your 4 successes, you root around a bit. The only thing you find is you find someone has left on their desk some papers they printed out from or faxed through, and there's some faxes there from Ron Tongham and Seal, the lawyers who are handling your inheritance, because Mr. Marcus Tongham is the guy you've been dealing with. They've faxed through to these guys here, Verigold, this accountancy, because it looks like they're processing some of the they're doing some of their processing for the inheritance through here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a note in here. This was going to come up later on when you had a chat with the guy, but basically saying that it looks like they've finished calculating the inheritance tax due.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've got a recommendation. He says recommendation for client. The numbers are the only reason you recognize is you look at it and go, oh, that's my lawyer's, and then you go, oh, that's our case number. They haven't put your public details in here for client record privacy reasons.
Yeah.
And basically saying they recommendation we're going to recommend to the client they go to Verigold Finance for a loan to cover the costs on the basis that the estate will become profitable to help repay, because currently you are on the hook for £600,000 in
Jesus Christ! Oh God, that is a numbers dragon after me.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm. There's more in here, but I'm not sure whether you want to start leafing through this and going into the details of why it's of all this stuff. But this appears to be this may be where the spirit's got the awareness of the something is hunting for you.
Steal the facts. Steal the paperwork.
Stealing this will not stop the tax from happening. It'll mean the guys go, someone stole the paperwork.
No, we don't have to hang around here and risk Ag's gift giving up on us.
Yes, they are.
Yes. Now that said, this specifically is not what you're going to get given. This looking at it briefly, it looks like there's some stuff in here about maybe the reasons why. Some more stuff about their negotiations, chatting with people like the loan companies and things like that. So there may be information in here they're not going to give you, but it's certainly connected to some of it. Is certainly stuff they will be telling you.
And we broke the copy machine, so I can't make photocopies of this.
Steal the info.
Yeah,
Are you making off with this folder?
I'm leaving no traces of my presence right now, so yeah, I'm gonna make off with this paperwork.
Okay,
oh, wait, that's gonna look suspicious. Oh fuck.
Yeah, someone broke the door and then one
Right.
missing.
Dude,
Alright,
Pete,
and-
trash the room so that it's a lot harder for them to notice one file missing. Or just steal a bunch of random files.
Just steal a bunch of them if you're gonna
Yeah,
steal
I'm gonna
anything.
steal a whole bunch of random files.
So you
That
loot the
works.
room, including your file. On your way out, you smash the door apart, and then you go onto the dark streets. This little patch of blank marsh, which is office-type buildings anyway, so there isn't really anyone around this time of night. The building behind you is just not dark. Sorry? You put it down a
carry the guy out. I'm going to dump him in one of the bins.
Yep, so you leave him in a bin, and off you go into the night, I guess.
Yeah, you can tell Cassie Uncle Keith likes to dump people in bins, too.
And away into the darkness. So you flee through the outer area, the outskirts of Glisham, back to base. Now, obviously, the pack have got a lot to talk about and chat over. I'm going to suggest you get yourselves your night's sleep and do some admin first, if that's fine. Is there anything else you desperately need to do before you sleep?
Tomorrow morning, you need to get some essence. That's about it.
I'm gonna pour Thornbreaker a stiff glass of whiskey and just hand it to him.
Chris, how much time do we have before morning?
A good enough time to get sleep, like a willpower sleep back.
Oh, I was thinking. So one of the things that we've kind of been ignoring, I was going to wonder if there's any kind of like wild game that I could go hunt, because that's a part of us that we have been ignoring that feels very glaring to me.
You can go to like see if you can catch a rabbit. Certainly, fairly easily. Larger games are a bit trickier to get around your estate at the moment. There isn't any deer there currently, but hopefully there will be someday. Otherwise, you have to go off a bit of a way looking for deer in the woodlands, which will be trickier to get. But going hunting for like a deer will be a no willpower regain for sleeping thing because it will take you some time. A
So
rabbit
hunting
is
a
much
rabbit
easier.
I can do quickly.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go nick myself a rabbit.
Okay.
Make myself
Yeah, you go. You kill a rabbit and feel slightly better about yourself as a god infused engine of destruction from a primeval age, because today was not very good on the actually killing the big thing. So you get to indulge, get a bit of blood on your teeth, and feel like a good dog, a good boy. You took out one spirit and smashed masks on another couple who booked it out of there. Yeah. Yes. Oh yes, that's right. You also
that road spirit up pretty good. Good point.
And you took out Mr. Sparkles as well.
Yes,
So,
oh, that's right. I ripped Mr. Sparkles in half, didn't I?
Yep. So you head back to
the primal hunting
Yes.
need that we have.
Sorry.
No, we need to do a Sisker to fulfill that. Moving on.
Although you're not currently in danger of triggering that anyway because you have done one more recently enough, but you will need to do one. You crash back in your lair, in your den. The wolf-blooded are all asleep. You have a night's sleep. Firstly, you'll be gaining 1 point of willpower back for everybody. Thornbreaker, the guilty condition ends. It doesn't resolve, so you don't get a beat, but it does finish. In your dreams, you get something that is not a prophetic dream, but you see a woman. It is the face that guilty earth bore, and it is you see her. She is there. She is observing, not really seeing you, but there's flickers and flashes of her. Firstly, as something pure and silver, then as a person who looks like it, and finally as a twisted, broken corpse, leaking black nothingness. Then there is the dream seems to become suffocatingly dark, and you almost wake from a nightmare of basically feeling like you're buried alive. But before that choking claustrophobia can quite pull you out the dream, the darkness cracks with light, and there is a sense of being drawn forth again. But there is only bones. Bones are all that emerge. So that's the fragment you get of that thought. Morning. It is bright, blustery spring day. There is 6 points of essence in the locus. Consider dividing as you see fit among yourselves, because I know people are very, very low across the board.
What is everybody at?
I've got like 4, so I'm not going to draw right now. You 3 need it.
Ag?
0. I put nothing.
All right. I'm only going to take 1, just because if we get into a fight, I need 2 to activate my gifts, and I can survive. I have 1 left. I'll nick 1. You guys distribute the other 5 between you. Is that all right? Is that good for everybody?
Sorry. How are we going to divide?
Stormbringer's taking 1.
I'm nicking 1, so that I have the 2 I need to activate my gifts if we get into a fight.
So how many are you taking then, Ag?
I guess I'll take 2.
All right, and I'm at 3, but I'm not taking any.
Okay.
Chris, I'm gonna spend the morning just doing some glass works.
Okay.
Hoping that it brings Windows of Illumination back, because I miss that little guy.
So
still no sign of him.
Johnny's in the kitchen, and he's just got like a plate piled with like potatoes, and he's looking at it and he's trying to eat it, and he doesn't understand why it isn't filling him anymore.
You're certainly getting filled up, but it's just not satisfying at all.
And I'm looking at the bacon, and I'm just like, that's why. And I just cook up a whole thing of bacon to eat. My primal urge went up to 2, so I can only get sustenance from meat now.
Gotcha.
It doesn't matter if it's raw or cooked.
What was it again for the glassworks?
The roll? Dex plus crafts, I think.
Dex, okay. I'm actually working on That's 3 dice for me. I'm working on a little glass representation of cinders and illumination because I missed a little
Okay.
guy.
Yep. Okay.
One,
Quite abstract art.
2.
What wasn't
Okay.
he?
Yep, you're working away trying to. This is what the hardest thing you've done yet because you're trying to do a sort of a human-ish shape for pieces and trying to thread them together with glass. Yeah, you're making good progress on that. You feel you're getting somewhere with that. In the kitchen. Sorry. Yep.
Hermione's Flame is trying to get her mind off slightly of what just happened, the brush with death, and she's gonna look for the totem in the place where it sort of.
Totem is probably in the kitchen with you guys at this point. It's just to gather wherever most of the pack are, perched up on a thing, on a shelf, watching down.
I've got the tax.
I'm gonna go.
Yep.
Yeah, then I'll go to the kitchen, get some food, sit by the totem.
Yep.
So, what was his name? I forget. I believe I forgot the name of our totem.
The Unconquered Raven,
Yeah.
Corvus Invictus.
Yep.
Unconquered Raven, is there anything we can do to strengthen you apart from bringing new people to the banner? Are there any symbols you wish displayed?
Our symbol, the banner, the standard that I am. That symbol. Stormbringer made more in glass. This was a good start. It's probably. I imagine the glass one's up on the shelf here. It's your totem is next to the glass version of the Raven, looking at the Raven, the banner top, and feeling very pleased with its reflection in it. Essentially, yes, it likes the battle. It likes the wooden standard you've got. It likes the glass version that Stormbringer made. It likes images of itself quite a lot.
If I had more resources, I get like a wall hung tapestry commissioned of it to hang up somewhere.
So, Mary has come downstairs saying, I've got an update from Jenny. She's doing okay. Because Mary gave you the intel, led you to this building question, so she sort of sits down at the table with her Zago. So how are things? How did it go?
I owe $600,000. I owe 600,000 pounds for this place. That's exciting.
She frowns, nods. Yeah, I guess that. I mean, that's quite a light tax bill. There must have been some other resources that already fenced off for it.
I point. Don't ask how I got this, but that's...
She looks at the file and goes, "Wait, well, okay, I won't ask."
Good.
We learn things.
We did learn things.
Yes.
Okay. You didn't go and raid the tax accountants last night. You actually went. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So
the accountant stuff was a good side trip.
Do you know what you're going to do next before Hawkhurst tries to fuck you or fuck us all?
Kind of.
Well,
We need to.
Hawkhurst technically doesn't know. Hawkhurst technically doesn't know that we were in the building because you shut down the cameras.
No, that's not just. If he put a boundary ward on the whole town, then he will know.
That's true.
I mean, it's a big boundary ward, so maybe he won't be able to do that. But
Thornbreaker is having whiskey for breakfast and looks at the two of them across the table and says, "We can't wait. We need to move. We know now that the ashes are the key to taking Hawkhurst down. We need to acquire them immediately."
Isn't there a chapel to some saint here? Are those ashes, or
Sorry.
it's his father's ashes.
What you're thinking of is on the place you just were at. Okay, just to recap this for you. You were at the Blackmarsh Abbey. There was still towards the chapel, which used to be in the location that building was built on, which is also the site of the mass grave that you think Thornbreaker saw in his vision. Was buried at that chapel. That chapel was said to hold the relics of Saint Witta.
And I turned to Mary. Saint Witta was female, right?
Yes, I think so.
So that tracks with the first face, right?
I think what happened was a loon came down and claimed someone to fight a void spirit, or perhaps several void spirits, because there were no werewolves in the area. It stayed in the body and gave it power, so people at the time thought it's a saint. And then the Anglo-Saxon guy killed it. I'm presuming here that Thornbreaker has told us what he saw.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then the Anglo-Saxon guy killed the claimed, and then it sat. But obviously, for some reason, the loon didn't leave the body. It stayed there, combining with the void energy, becoming a maggot that then was dug up by the father of Hawkhorse, Hawkhorse then killed him, presumably during his spirit change.
That train event seems to work out. Can I pull? So obviously this is a really long time ago, but if I like Google Saint Witta, will it come up with like at least tapestry type images or stained glass images of what she looked like?
No, it doesn't, because St. Witta there's quite a lot of controversy about St. Witta in general, including is St. Witta St. Witta? Is it something else is it another name that's been warped or linguistic drifted? Was there a St. Witta at all? Is it actually a saint from a completely different country that's been randomly folded into local religious folklore? But what you do get is there's more than one location in Dorset that supposedly has St. Witta's bones in it. It is believed that she was probably basically an Anglo-Saxon princess, but it's not. But it's all very vague. There are not any visual representations of her. She exists purely in text form and supposedly some bones.
Okay.
Okay. So the question is, how do we find where Hawkhurst is keeping the ashes?
And that's
Supposedly he visits them frequently.
right, but
Would he have them at his home?
Am I done with my glassworks yet?
Yes, yeah, you can be.
All right, so
So-
I'm gonna kind of stroll in, pick up the bottle of bourbon or whiskey that Thornbreaker is drinking from, and pour myself a glass.
So I doubt it's in the museum or a church or anything, only because remember what Mary told us, how the university can't get anything about this. So I doubt these were cataloged in any way.
I really think that his bane is his father's ashes, the father he killed,
Agreed.
not St. Witta's. And these ashes would probably be in an urn somewhere close to where he can get to, so either his house or his place of work.
Is
Probably
it
house, because it would be weird to have his father's ashes in his place of work.
Is it his blood father, or was he an orphan? That part I missed.
No, it's his
Bloodfather.
bloodfather, yeah.
We're thinking it's his blood father, not like father as in father.
Yeah,
No,
no, yeah.
Well, you've seen the faces, there was a
Right.
resemblance.
Yes, 100%. It's his father. We know that.
Yeah, it's his father.
It's his father. His father was religious, beat the crap out of him all the time. He killed his father. He feels guilty about it. This is his origin story. The ashes became imbued with the power of this guilt.
Right, he probably had some sort of wolf-blooded tell that made his father think he was a demon, and etc., etc.
Some transforming kind of.
Or if tells are usually sometimes tells have a physical thing, like evil eye. I know is a tell where like you can see across the gauntlet, but your eyes look different or something. There's lots of wolf-blooded tells out there. We have no idea which particular one it was, but it was a tell that was noticeable enough that his father thought he was demonic or something, probably. The tell doesn't really matter. What matters is trying to find where
We don't have any way of getting in contact with what's her face, who wants to feed on her desires, right?
Hungers for more. Oh, you mean? Do you mean the spirit or the vampire?
The vampire.
Tourmaline. No, you don't,
Totally.
because she did she
Jenny's not
bugged
here.
out. Who was it? I think it was Johnny who'd gotten Emma Coleman's number though.
I did.
You get a text from Emma saying, but very terse, saying something's lit. Something's what was it? Not what would her phrasing be? Something's poked the wasp's nest. They are they are out. They are out in force today. Was it text me or was it you? Question mark.
The oozers? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, should I just text her? Probably, because it was probably us. Chris, you're cutting out.
When you text, you get a response that she's read the message, but she doesn't respond beyond that.
Okay.
He responds, guilty.
Guilty. Guilty as charged.
Guilty as earth.
The name of today's episode, Guilty as Charged.
All right. So Thornbreaker did get a good night's sleep, but he seems.
Jenny's not here, right?
No.
Correct. Jenny's at home because she can't stay. She has to go to school and shit like that.
Right. Because it's.
Thornbreaker's gonna pop out his phone and call her.
She's in school.
Hey, right?
She won't be able to. She will call you back shortly because she won't be able to pick up her phone right up. But so you probably go straight to message, but she'll call you back shortly afterwards if you want to skip. Basically, if you phone her immediately, if you can call her and pick up, but she rings you back in break or something. Goes, yeah, hey, what's up?
Are we doing this little time jump? Nobody else has anything they want to do while we wait for Jenny to call back?
It would be literally like 15 minutes is all. So I guess we might as well just do. I don't want to sort of block you out and then come back to it. Might as well just get it done. It's just I'm saying there would have to be a little break because her life is according to other schedules than your own. So yeah, what's up?
Hey, Jenny, the oozers, where do they like to hang out?
Oh God.
Okay, so they had if I don't know an awful lot about it because obviously I tried to not go along with it. They had the way they had some places one of them made references that they had places that had halls. It sounded like Masonic, like the Freemasons kind of stuff, where they have halls and things. I don't know. So I think they had a few places around town, but they literally, they definitely had. So when they were in the very early stages of being really weird, but not when they got really weird. They were meeting people in one of the town halls up on the hill, as if to make it kind of to be a bit I guess legit-ish. But I don't think that was where that didn't seem to be where they do their stuff, if you know what I mean. It was just their front. I don't know where they really sort of hung out apart from that.
Do you know if they have an abnormal reverence towards any one particular place?
Let me think. So, yeah, hold on. There was something.
No.
I remember vaguely one of them saying something about the old. So there used to be a theatre in town, right? In the old in the centre, where it closed down. I've never been there, because who the fuck goes to theatres and shit now when you can go use Netflix? I don't understand. Anyway, point was there was a theatre and it was closed down. It's been closed down since whenever, but there was supposed to be. It's always had some notice on it saying it's going to be redeveloped, it's going to be rebuilt or something, and no one ever seems to get round to it. One of them mentioned that place, actually. They were really weird about it. When they've gone from just being a bit weird to really creepy weird, one of them said I should go there, or there would be trouble. And obviously, I didn't really want to go there because they're. Yeah, it's in Gilcombe. It's odd because they've been rebuilding loads of the buildings around there, but the old temple is not the old temple. The old theatre is still there, just like dilapidated and stuff. I'd thought they'd torn it down by now, but they haven't.
Thanks. All right. I'll tell you what. Why don't you get back to class? We'll talk to you after school. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thanks, Jenny. Click. Oh, we lost him.
Yeah.
Just lost comms. So we had a bit of a gap. We had a bit of a jolt there when something moved really fast. It was silent. So did you need signing off?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Yeah. So yeah, she heard what you said and she signed up.
I'm gonna look at the others. So I grew up in an Irish Catholic household. Ain't nothing quite like Irish Catholic guilt, at least not in the States. And they show extreme deference to Jesus,
Yeah.
and that's a place of reverence to them. You think this is the same thing? Jenny said there's a theater that they show abnormal reverence to. You think it's possible that that's where the object of his guilt is kept? In this almost holy place to them?
I think Harmonious Flame is probably correct that it is likely in his home. It seems like if this is the thing that has power over him, he would not want to bring others in contact with it.
If he's aware of what the power over him it is, what power it has over him.
No, it's just something that he privately is speaking to and wrestling with his guilt with. I don't think that's something he would put on public display.
So
The spirit that he visits it often, and he pleads and rages at it.
So on
He
top
wouldn't be doing that in public.
on top of that, right? If it's a band, spirits are intrinsically aware of their own bands, so I don't see why he wouldn't be aware of his own band, quote unquote. So it's probably somewhere where he keeps it private. I'm kind of in agreement. I see the point of it. It might be in a place of reference, in place of his guilt, but I shrug.
Well, we could use the theater in another way. We could use the theater to draw his attention away while Johnny sneaks in his house and checks for the ashes. At this point, we've crossed the battle lines. We need something.
I guess we could set it on fire.
And Thornbreaker kind of pissed all over it last night. Well done, by the way.
Thank you.
I approve. So I think it's time to just let's just take a big old piss in his bowl of Cheerios this morning, and let's go beat up some oozers and draw his attention away. And Johnny, you go. You're the sneaky one. Why don't you go check it out and see if you can find those ashes in his home?
Do we like this plan? Because if we like this plan, we might as well call Sacred Hunt on
We can't just outright break into his home. We need to draw his attention away from his home, from his territory, his area, his home base.
I understand, and everything we would be doing would be a Sacred Hunt condition, because we're trying to do this to throw him off base.
Yeah, and that means that anything that gets in my way, just out of game, anything that gets in my way towards fulfilling the Sacred Hunt, I get bonuses against, which means I get bonuses for beating the shit out of oozers, which nobody's going to argue against.
So, if we want to do it, yeah, I say we call a Sacred Hunt on Hawker's ass, especially because it's going to help me break into his house. That's really why I want this.
I'm going to look at Thornbreaker. Hunting Uratha is your specialty, isn't it?
Thornbreaker.
Your call. Your call. Your hunt. You call it. If you think we're ready for it, we'll do it. But I leave this one to you.
Thornbreaker finishes his glass of whiskey and puts it on the table and says, "Let's hunt."
Oh yeah.
Jack is going to rip the cork out of the bottle of whiskey, take a real big swig, and pass it over to Thornbreaker. Let's do this.
Wait, says your totem.
Oh no.
If you will do this, if you wish to draw the foe's attention, you must take your banner with you. The staff that is carved. You must take this.
It's in the kitchen, right? The staff?
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
All right, I'm going to pick it up. I wouldn't dream of going without it.
So
I'll
we
be
have a
right
slightly
back.
wailing child in issue. Just going to check on what it is. So the pack are basically gathering to do these, perform the sacred hunt.
Yep.
Stormbreaker's going to lead, I think was the suggestion.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
Chris, do we want to take a quick bio before we call the Sacred Hunt?
Yes, in fact, now is probably a good time to do a bio while we're just dealing with the screeching child. So let's come back in 5 minutes. We'll do the sacred hunt and we'll see what happens next.
All right, everybody, we're going to switch to the title reel here. We will see you in a few minutes when we get back. are back, everybody. Okay, so yeah, let's get this party started.
So I assume you're I assume you're doing your usual performance of the rite with I believe it was Thornbreaker leading it. So information I need to know. I assume you're using the usual way you perform it as well for simplicity's sake, so we don't have to tag all the things there. Pardon me, burping there. Who or what is the target of this rite?
Hawkhurst.
You are choosing Hawkhurst as your sacred prey. Right, let's do a quick check of the little list of modifiers. So gather your dice pool for your standard dice pool for this. I can't remember what it is you usually use. And then
I think we do brawl plus strength.
Sorry, too many people talking at once there. Now no one is talking.
Keith, you were saying something?
Oh, I said the role of Hawkhurst for the evening will be played by me.
By him.
Right, okay, it's the
I
prey.
volunteer to get the shit kicked out of me.
Sure. For my rights, it's usually brawl plus strength. It's this reenactment of hunting.
Yep. And you can get up to +4 dice here because it's not your auspice moon. However, I would you're -1 as well because it is. I would note today. Now you could leave it till night if you want, but from what Emma said, Hawkhurst is presumably mustering. So if you want to crack on with it now, you'll be taking you'll only be getting +3 dice.
That's fine.
If you're in Dalu, if it's
correct,
yeah.
I will be in
your
Dalu.
tribe sacred relay,
It is my sacred
and if you do it in the presence of a locust, doesn't that give you a bonus, or am I off kilter?
Locust is not a bonus.
All right,
Okay.
so I have 5 brawl and 3 strength. That makes it 8 +1 for it being my sacred prey, and +1 for being in dollar form is 10 dice. And then, Chris, you mentioned other modifiers?
Yeah, the total modifiers from the modifier table, ignoring your setting aside your tribal sacred prey, you are getting +3 dice from from the right modifier.
So that's 13 total dice. Sidekick is still down, so I'll have to roll here.
Yep.
Alright, so that is 1, 2, 3 so far with 1 explosion. That is 5 successes. We have an exceptional.
Okay. Which I think is all you need as well, isn't it? 5 for this. So we open up. No, 10. But okay. So make the additional rolls, but no, we have got the exceptional.
Perfect. All right.
Thanks,
Next roll. That is 1, 2, 3 so far with an explosion. 6 on this one.
Right. Okay, so after just a few minutes of the rite, you feel the symbolic power settle upon you as a mantle in your mock hunt. The Rite Master has gained the symbolic focus condition. So you are +1 effective rank and 3 successes instead of 5 in dealing with spirits. So it is Mary sits sort of standing on but inside the doorway, nursing some mug of tea as she watches you perform what looks like some, pagan rite out of a folk horror movie, but you're doing it out in the open today, which makes it feel a little bit odd in daylight. It has to be said, it's strange not doing this in the comforting dark or the cold moonlight. Nevertheless, you go through the motions, you perform it, and the power lands upon you. If you are activating a 3-dot moon gift effect, one of your hunter ones, like Stormbringer's kill everyone and who gets in my way and stuff one, spend your point of essence now.
Okay.
I am activating Relentless Hunter.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my are we gonna let him sleep? I don't know. Let me look at my Dream Hunter one again.
Shit, I should have taken 2 essence.
Ag, are you still able to I remember you rolled some sort of a gift that you can maybe shut down a couple of his merits or something.
Alright, so if I use Dream Hunter...
It's a merit I have, yes.
For doing this now, maybe we should cash in on that. I don't know. It's your call. I just remembered we did it. You did it, rather.
Sounds of the city, isn't it?
I believe
The
that.
other ones don't make sense.
I'm gonna have to keep Dream Hunter in my back pocket. It's not gonna help us right now. But...
Don't you have to
Okay,
activate
with
it to start?
It's a scene's effort to activate sounds of the city. You can shut down a number of social merit dots equal to your cunning renown, reflecting human influences.
Oh, okay.
They only have one cunning, so it's just gonna be one dot.
Okay, so what dot are you going to try and shut off?
Let me just check the.
Allies in the police?
Seriously, that's the one to shut off.
I don't know. Just a thought.
It shuts off dots as well, so you can choose a higher ranking. If you only got one dot, you don't have to choose a 1 dot merit. You can choose a higher dot merit and basically reduce it by a dot.
Relentless hunter.
Well, he has status 5 with the Uzov. We could rake that slightly. Or he has allies 3 in police, so that also could go to 2, you know.
Okay, so are you going to spend a scene trying to lock that down?
Yeah, the cost of one of my merits, isn't it?
Okay, your own social merits and human spheres are considered 1 dot lower. Your own social merits in general, right? All of them are considered 1 dot lower while you're doing this. Okay, because you're paying over. So basically, what you're doing is calling around some of the people you used to know. Perhaps it's a mixture of spiritual and actual literal effort. You have your finger on the pulse of the city and can see the flow of its currencies. So you're basically just trying to get some people maybe to call in some stuff with the police, some people you used to know, and that kind of thing, so that the police attention is slightly dragged elsewhere. There's only so much you can do with your power, but you can make some calls to hopefully hamper any police response to his request. Okay, so that sound of the city is brought to bear. You've activated the various gifts. So, are we? Rough understanding. 3 of the pack are going to go into the old theatre and check it out in the hope of basically drawing Hawkhurst's attention there. Johnny is going to split off and head towards. Because you know where his home is. You know he's got a very high-ranking safe place home in St. John's on the hill. Mm-hmm. So you're going to peel off to his home and break in and see if you can find some these ashes. Are you going in the pickup into town and then parking up and then splitting off your different ways, or what's your scheme here?
That thing is like so conspicuous right now for us. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea.
We're gonna borrow Mary's car.
Oh God!
Poor Mary.
I think that he will know we crossed the town boundary one way or another.
He will know that we're crossing the boundary.
Yeah, Mary can drop you off in town if you want.
Let's do that.
She doesn't have a big car, so it's a bit of a 3 of you have to squeeze together on the 2 back seats with that. They have one tiny middle seat that theoretically someone can sit in.
Is there a boot? I'll just go in wolf form in the boot.
Yeah, you can if you want.
With
so he doesn't care that he's in a small dark space.
With Johnny,
I like small dark spaces.
With Johnny in the boot, Thornbreaker will quietly suggest that Mary aim for every pothole.
Is not going to do that to her cousin.
Thornbreaker is going to nod his agreement and sit in the front seat because I think I am the biggest of all of us.
Yes, you're probably the widest, if nothing else. So, and well, all of you are, fairly solidly built, at least. So, yeah. Okay, so it's a trip through the sunlit countryside, spring countryside. You pass the rolling fields and see the outskirts of town. If, as you presume, Hawkhurst has wards up, boundary wards. You don't sense them when you cross them, and he's never seems to have marked his territory otherwise. So you pass through into town, and he is probably now aware. Mary drives into the centre into Gilcombe, the modern heart, which is where the place is. So you have this. There's the high street of shops and offices in the sort of centre town square, and there's older buildings like the church where you went in the shadow, the guild hall, and things like that. And among the buildings, there nearby, you can see the first office, the tower building, rising up. That's nearly been completed. This new construction. A couple of streets over from that is this old theatre. It's closed down. It's boarded up. It's a big, chunky building. It must have been early 1900s construction. Once it would have been quite grand. Now it is, all the windows boarded up and the doors boarded up and things like that. Mary drops the pack off a few streets away from there to allow Johnny. Actually, should you take Johnny on? So he drops you, three of you in Gilcombe, drives to the edge of St John's onto the hillside. Drops Johnny among the leafy streets of rich people's homes, and then we've just lost Ag.
No!
Chris, for comedic value, during the drive into town, every once in a while, Stormberger was going to go, watch out! So that Mary would, jerk on the brakes and jostle him around a little bit.
The first two times, she's so tensed and hunched over it, she just goes, stop it, whenever you do that, and is just not reacting anymore because she's already hyper. She is not happy about you doing that. She's
I'm smiling and laughing anyway.
The fucking car off the road, because you guys will be fine, I guess. I'll be dead, but you guys will be fine. Fucking great. Road safety. Or is that something you don't fucking have in America? She's tense, especially after you start doing that to her. So she drops the three of you off in Gilcombe, near the theatre. She drops Johnny off in the leafy streets of St John's, and then she aways to hopefully not die. So we're going to focus first on Team Gonzo of Harmonious and Thornbreaker.
Gonzo?
Team Gonzo.
It is spring day. Yes, Ag?
He's wearing a t-shirt with a raven that she dug out just for this occasion.
Okay, and the totem...
To wear the totem on,
Is the totem with you three, or is it going with Johnny?
It's going to go with Johnny as backup.
Thank you.
But you've got the banner, you've got the staff.
Oh, I've got the staff, clean up walking staff style, bring it on.
So you are in the streets of Gilcombe. There are offices here. There's some other bit of residential building, but this is part of this whole swathe has mostly been redeveloped into offices and shops and things. The sector streets you're on are not shops. The old theatre sticks out a bit of a sore thumb among these other modern buildings here. As I said, it's a chunky building, solidly built, early 1900s style, boarded up. Notices on the doors and things saying "Do not enter." No children should not enter and play. Don't play in this area; it's dangerous. Trunco padlocks on the routes in. It is daytime. What is your plan?
We have or masks or something to hide our faces from the street cameras. At least.
Cameras? We're in the middle of the boonies. I figured there weren't street cameras.
CCTV is very common. Cameras are very common in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
So because
recording is another matter.
So and also because Johnny. No. This is
That
better.
will use
This is
my
better.
whole essence, my whole true essence point.
We're good. So especially because our packmate is going to Hawkhurst's home, I would rather Hawkhurst not be home. So Thornbreaker walks into the front, looks up at a camera, winks, blows a kiss, gives him the finger, and then heads towards the theater.
You know what? Stormbreaker is going to take Thornbreaker's kind of his lead, and he's gonna pull out his cell phone and do a selfie of a middle finger and email it to Hawkhurst in front of the theater.
Do we know his number?
I'm emailing it to him on his website. Emails are public.
There is he does have a work email. Yes, that you can email it to him.
I like him. Gotta have a public email address. So I am literally. I was gonna moon him, but I figured we didn't want to add public indecency to the list of charges.
Right.
Walking down the street, you do that and go wow. Okay, so you approach it. You walk up to there aren't a lot of people in this particular streets, thankfully, especially not this time of day. What is your obviously you need to get in the building now. Currently, at first look, there are several entrances in. The front entrance, the big one where you would have gone up some steps to a big double doors, that looks pretty heavily sealed up. But the side doors look like, to a brief glance, they've seen some use. They are padlocked shut, and have the same warning signs, construction site, do not enter, legal consequences, yada, yada, yada. But they are, obviously, it looks like people have used them to come in and out of really recent times. They've seen use. And in fact, if this is important to the cultists, and if, as Emma said, there is some sort of mustering happening, it may be they are being in and out even today. So what's your scheme to get in the building?
So did we ever come up with a pack symbol?
You had some idea of a Raven Eye, but I looked at Raven Eyes online, and they don't look anywhere. They don't look any different to Eagle Eyes. So I suggest it should be a whole Raven head at the very least, if not a whole Raven.
I was thinking because we're the oncoming storm, right? Is the pack name? I was thinking we could do a Raven's head with a lightning bolt going behind it.
I was gonna say a raven's head, like a close up of a raven's head, and then like in the iris a lightning bolt. But yeah, that works.
Okay.
Kind of throw in the storm lord logo into that for you right there. You're welcome.
Okay, well, that's all very nice, but what is your plan to get in the building, or whatever else you're going to do?
The reason for it, before we go in, I'm actually going to carve that into the door.
Okay, yep. It's got the door is one of those ones that whatever the original door is, it's been what is now there on the outside is a fairly blank, heavy, unadorned hardboard thing that the construction guys have put in, so you can easily carve into that. Yeah. However, you still have. What are you just? There are padlocked, heavy-duty doors basically to get in.
So I'm going to take a quick look for a piece of like rebar or maybe a pipe.
Nothing like that lying around outside something like this. It's not the kind of thing you'd find lying in the street.
We probably brought something like that. I mean, we were gearing up.
You've got like crowbars and stuff, so if you want to try and, but yeah, if you want to have brought one, you can. Although be aware that if anyone sees you with a crowbar in the street trying to crowbar a door open, that is something they will see.
Definitely, there are three of us, so we can sort of make a werewolf shield around the person who.
The two of them make a shield, and I'm going to take the crowbar, stick it to the padlock, and.
Okay, give me a.
Pop that without problem.
Give me a strength plus athletics draw.
Yeah, I got this. No worries, kiddies. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be an exceptional success, sir. That's 5.
Okay, so not only is that successful, but obviously before you do this, you wait a minute on this side street you're on, around the side of the building, under the adorned wall, the embellishments on the wall here, which almost no one would see unless they're coming down this side alley to throw some stuff in a bin. All the old grandeur of this building on the side here is it's crumbling, faded, and wasted in many ways. You wait until there's no one coming past, and then you do work, and it's quick and easy and clean. So not only is it successful, but it's no one has even a chance of seeing it. You're so quick when you do it. Door breaks open, and in you go. You are in one of the side parts of this building. So there is probably a central chamber here. There is probably obviously a theatre hall itself. You appear to be in what would have most likely been storage rooms, given what's here. It has been used for storage, which is odd, given it's a derelict building. On the one hand, there's some old construction gear here, presumably when they were sealing the building up. That's normal. The other stuff in here is slightly more surprising. There are a number of trunks and boxes with other contents in here. Some of them appear to be packing things, like branded and stuff, big packing crates, which are empty. There's a big canister of something that smells like petrol type, or like a bit like gas, not the same, but it's something chemically smelling, with a little container, a little thingy off it and stuff. There is a and there's some boxes. There's some clothes and things. They are fairly plain black clothes of various rough, unisex sizes and things, and some other bits and pieces around the place, including some very clean power tools. When I say very clean, I mean you think you maybe can smell the slight traces of blood on them still.
Chris, the black clothing, do they look almost like ritualistic?
A bit like that, or something. They look a bit odd because you think, oh, what do you imagine? But they could well be something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Thornbreaker. Go, man, that whiskey's really hitting the spot. Zip. He's gonna pee all over the ritual clothing.
Oh my god.
This place down. Do you really have to do this?
I wasn't gonna burn it down. I figured we just defile it.
He's urinating on it, Ag. He's not pouring alcohol all over it.
No, I'm peeing on the clothing. The whole point is to do as a tank. I wasn't planning on burning the place down and putting us in any more legal trouble than maybe a breaking and entering.
So your packmate spent some time whittling on the clothes. Done. You're still in some quiet side room of this place with this stuff. So what's your scheme? No one appears to have reacted or noticed at all so far because why would they? You've broken in through a side door and pissed on some clothes.
Chris, side note, I threw a wits and composure. I'm just going to take a quick listen for any sounds of construction or anything going on. Anybody in here?
Okay, give me... so everyone can give me perception checks. Be aware, if you're in Hishu form still, it's just the +1.
I'm going to shift into the wolf form and sniff.
The war form? Oh, or
wolf.
I thought you said war. I'm like, wait a minute, what? We're going right to Garu? Excellent.
Fuck this shit. Fuck these guys in particular.
Oh, you know what? I nerfed myself a die. Make that 4 successes, Chris.
4 successes, nice.
Yeah, I nerfed myself a die. I only rolled 5.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna, after I take my Wii, I'm gonna shift into Dalu.
Okay. Now you've got an empty bladder.
Exactly.
The comfort of the monster before.
Order of operations are important, Chris. Okay, nice.
So how many was that, Ag?
I got an exceptional success. 5 successes.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 exceptionals. Okay. Right,
No,
let me...
No, Ag rolled 3 successes, probably, so she rolled an exceptional, and then Dan
I rolled 5.
You rolled 6, but that also is a exceptional success.
Yeah, both of you got exceptionals, so 6 and a 5. Right.
Okay.
You smell. Firstly, there is a rich mixture of smells in here. Various people come in here on the regular. The scent you get from the canister and things like that, it appears that the canister is used to... It's something for its lantern fuel. So for some sort of lamps that aren't here, but you can scent and smell it. The mixture of various different humans and some wolf-blooded who come in here, mostly regular humans, you think. Something else, something that smells not like a powerful animal smell, but something that smells animal-y and isn't very, it's weird and a bit disgusting. Including among the smells, you do... I can't remember who was it one of you who met the councilman? I think it was it Thornbreaker and Johnny who met the councilman?
I believe so.
Yeah.
One of them is the councilman chap. I need to dig his name up. He's definitely been in here. Apart from that... yes, that's one of the other ones. Another smell you are moderately familiar with. I haven't seen her for a little bit, but let me find the name. I'm having problems finding the bloody name now because some of these we haven't pulled out. So Tara Elva, the other woman who was the woman at the stables, she and Jenny were doing stuff at the stables. You've got Tara's smell in here. There are some others as well, including the 2 people you met briefly who were with the 2 flunkies who were with Hawkhurst. The man, his smell is here, and it smells fairly fresh, and it smells of blood. He smells kind of bloody. There's some human blood, but much more fresh is what smells like animal, maybe chicken blood, maybe pig blood. And not just blood, but flesh, like that scent of like as if he's been up to his elbows in animal innards. The woman, her smell is here, and it smells really deeply unpleasant of something gory, but not the same stench of fresh blood as the other guy. She smells of other people in a weird kind of way. You can also smell very faintly and not recent Tourmaline, the vampire. She has not been here for a while. And you also finally smell, much more frequently, the strange, pungent, slightly fungusy smell of the Flameghast.
Interesting.
You don't smell Corley here, but you smell his smell in general. He's on people who've been here. He doesn't bother coming in here for whatever reason. A number of these people, hard to tell who exactly, have been in here in the last few hours. And like they've obviously done some, but they haven't been using the. They've some of them have been grabbing some of the clothes. They haven't been using the lantern oil though. They haven't been tapping into that. The power tools, you're not sure who's touched those for a while. They haven't been touched for a bit, but they do smell like they had some people put on them. Listening, you can hear, especially two of you got exceptionals, echoing through a building, strains of people talking, some argument, some debate. Somewhere near in the building, from the acoustics, it sounds like they're probably in the theatre hall itself. There is a group of people, some of whom are arguing, some of whom are... There's discussion. You can't pick it out very well, but it sounds like there is discontent or argument going down. Sounds like someone is sharpening something over that as well.
How much of this do I hear with my non-success?
You're getting a little bits of it, but not so much as the others. You probably don't hear the sharpening. You can hear the sound of there are people in the building. And anything else? Like you think you can hear the councilman chat. His voice is in there. The exceptionals definitely pick him out briefly, saying something, and then someone snaps something, and he kind of shuts up. And there is something else. Now, this building has rats in it, right?
Oh, God.
It's an old building. And you know there's a Bashilu, right? As well. So that might be the Bashilu. But there is something larger, small but larger, scampering around nearby you in the building. Not in this room, but you can hear something, or maybe like a dog-sized thing. But so that is your preview. What you do not hear Corley Hawkhurst's voice.
That's fine.
I bark.
What'd you say?
I bark because I'm in wolf form. People over there. And then I start to sort of creep that way.
Okay, so presumably you're going to creep out this room and try and slink through. Are you going to head towards the main auditorium then?
Is that where the sounds sound like they're coming from?
Yeah, you think there's the group of people are in the theatre itself, in the auditorium.
So, I'm still in Hishu form currently. I say to Harmonious Flame, quietly go off the side of the stage, and he turns to Stormbreaker and says, "Get to the other side of the stage. I'll announce my presence. They won't know you're there. It'll allow us to surround them and get the upper hand."
I'm gonna pass Thornbreaker the banner. You know what to do then.
He nods, and he starts making his way towards the seating area of the auditorium.
So you guys are basically splitting up to try and come at the auditorium area from different angles. Can everyone give me Dex plus Stealth plus 2, because the cultists are all busy arguing with each other?
Oh, yay. Dex. Stealth.
To get over there, I'm gonna switch to wolf form just because it's gonna be easier for me.
Same.
success.
Wolf form changes my dex to
9. Okay.
No, sorry, just two successes. One of the sixes was upside down. I thought it was on
we
mine.
got plus 2 though, right?
+2, he said, yeah.
Plus 2. Okay.
4 successes for me.
Okay.
Hold on. That's 10. Give me a hot second. Four for me as well.
Okay, so Stormbringer and Thornbreaker, you sort of flank out Thorn. We'll get Harmonious Flame as well. So, firstly, none of you are being spotted by the cultists, but we'll come to that in a moment.
Oh no.
The old theatre is pretty dilapidated. It is obviously not being used as a theatre properly. It has been run down. There are holes in some places in the ceiling. But in the main auditorium, while light is streaming down from glass areas in the roof, and it's old style, so you've got the ranks of seatings going up very steeply, and then some boxes as well, box viewpoints. The stage itself is open. As you approach different angles, you see, while the faded grandeur of the theatre with these old red curtains and with some gold trimming is swept aside, the theatre itself, the stage, has been turned into something akin to a throne, or throne room. There is a large, heavy, grand old oak seat. There is a lot of stuff arranged around him, around it as well. There are easels with some what look quite nice paintings on them. There's some bits of statuary. There are some dead people. You know those mannequins you saw, right? A bit like that, but they don't have skin so much as there are some dead people. And now you can, as you approach, you smell the smell of the formaldehyde. There are about 4 dead people who have been preserved. 3 women, 1 man, various ages. They are literally posed with sort of struts and things to keep them up on the stage, around, sort of facing as if in deference to the throne. You don't know when they died, but they have been quite heavily soaked in preservatives, and they have been posed, as I said, in sort of deference and devotion to whoever would be sitting on the throne. They are all wearing Uza masks. There's other stuff as well. Basically, it looks like a madman's little throne room set up to venerate him upon the throne. All of the paintings you see have people on them. For example, and they're not posed to be looking through them, but obviously they all have people on them. They are paintings of people, and they're all quite modern as well. They are paintings of people obviously had while they were alive, by artists today. There are a couple of things pinned with photos, loads of photos, mostly of the same few person on each given board, again posed around. There is a small, at the edge of the stage's foot, at the front where a bunch of the old seats have been gone, has been ripped out, is where the little crowd of cultists is gathered. About 2/3 of them are wearing the black baggy robes. About a quarter of them have put on Uza masks, these big wooden demonic masks. Some other people are carrying them, some haven't bothered to bring them at all. They look in a state of disarray. There's 16, 17 people at quick count, broad mix of different people. They are arguing. The woman you saw with Hawkhurst appears to be in something akin to a command position here. She is basically snarling at someone to basically hold this, just to stay here, calm down. There is you can hear them mutter, where is Corley? Is the council saying we need to hear from him on this. Why are we all being called together for this? I mean, it's just I have things to do with my time. And then the man you saw, the bald, eagle-nosed man, just says very quietly, going, that he will be here soon. Just trust in him and trust in God. A bit more back and forth among them. You are pretty sure that one of the people in the crowd you have seen in police uniform. Tara Elva is here, looking at the back, looking terrified out of her wits. So now, as you're flanking around, Harmonious Flame, you've gone off on your own, and again, none of these cultists have noticed any of you. They are in the chiaroscuro of light spilling down from the sunlight coming through the roof. They are not paying attention to the werewolves. You're moving through a side corridor around the flank, and you turn and you see in the corridor. So, imagine a Siamese cat, right? These sort of hairless cats. Imagine that, but a fox. Except you turn, there's this almost completely bald, apart from a few tufts of hair on its back, fox-like thing. It's wiry. It's not, it has human eyes.
Oh no!
And you're fairly sure human skin. Like, it's as if someone made a fox out of person.
Oh god!
And it's just passed around a corner, and it is looking at you in these wide human eyes. So, what's Harmonious Flame doing?
I freeze. I don't want to startle it. I don't know if it is a spirit or not. Can I get a sniff of?
You can smell it. It smells like a human being. And you know that weird, disgusting animal smell? That's this.
Oh,
And it
shit.
smells like a human being.
Gross.
This needs to die.
This needs to die.
I'm just gonna.
I'd like to point out that this is like the most on-track thing I've ever heard Agnes say with this pack.
It needs to die.
One of us. One of us.
All right.
I'm gonna pad closer to this thing, if it lets me.
It bolts.
Okay. Then I shall make a note of where it's gone and continue to where
It's going towards the auditorium.
Oh, this needs to die.
Can I catch up with it before it gets there?
Yeah, it'll be a strength plus athletics roll. Opposed, basically.
You can do it.
We believe in you.
Let's go.
We believe in your ability to foil his fucker.
So you rope ahead. You manage to sort of slam, bounce off the wall ahead, and corner it, stopping it. What are you going to do? You gonna... Okay. Its defense is let me think. It's 4.
So I roll strength plus brawl, yeah?
Strength plus brawl. Yeah. Remember, you can attack. You can spend willpower and check what form you're in for any bonuses.
Okay, well, I'm an Urhan, so I don't have any bonuses to strength or brawl, but I...
You do have light damage.
Yeah, okay, hold on a second. 2, 3, it has 4 defense on... What does all-out attack do again?
Plus 2 attack, plus 2 dice, but you have no defense.
Okay, then I shall try all-out attack. That's 3 dice.
Oh god.
But 2 successes again, which means
Okay.
3 damage because it's plus
4.
1 from teeth, yes?
4.
Plus
No, 4.
2.
Oh, so 4.
Okay. Do you wish to start grapple?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to roll for the rest of this then. You lunge, you grab it, crunch, and you start to run. It's literally got the strength of a fox. So it is not going to... Oh, small child is stealing my water. Okay, off you go, small child. It is not going to win this meaningfully. You grab and you crunch, and you've already taken a huge chunk out of its health track just with that. It gives this awful whining yowl as you mentioned, crunch. Now, the other two, you're flanking around to get your positions, and as you're still in the process, you hear this ghastly yelp yowl, and the cultists do too. They don't go into there's not oh combat. They stop. And they're like, and the councilman's like, did you hear that?
On cue, when I hear that, and their attention turns, I am back in Hishu form now, and I slowly waltz into the back of like the theater sitting area, whistling, putting on the Ritz.
Okay.
Pink have any essence.
Chris,
Why do you say that? You don't know. Oh, okay, let's just correct some misunderstandings. Why are you asking that first?
I need some.
It doesn't matter if humans have essence or not. Okay? You still can consume their flesh for essence. You are consuming human flesh. What's your death rate trigger, by the way? What are you
No, I'm not eating it in that case because
Well,
swallowing
is
human
that-
blood is my death rate
Oh,
trigger.
it is, yeah, okay.
registering as human.
Okay, so I'm definitely trying not to swallow any.
Okay.
Wait, we can eat humans for essence?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you can. You can consume human flesh for essence.
But
Does that count for werewolves?
Sorry?
If we bite a werewolf, can we consume a werewolf for essence?
No.
Because
Humans
the book
or
says,
wolves?
yeah,
Humans
that's
or
why I
wolves,
was
right.
I-
But
I-
technically, it's
that's-
against the oath of the moon. Just putting it out there.
If you need essence, you need essence.
But it's a
But I'm
breaking point
saying,
towards
but
spirit.
It's good to know.
It's a breaking point towards
Bruh.
spirit.
You're saying this like this is something I maybe am against.
I'm just letting you know. Anyway.
What is my death rage trigger? Hold on.
It's
no,
attack.
I'm good.
See,
Yes, it would be an impure act, but that's fine.
I cause lethal damage on you guys. We're good.
So, Harmonious Flame, you've cracked this thing's neck and you're presumably continue your flank. So, Thornbreaker, you've wandered out onto the stage. They've all turned to look at you in slight surprise and confusion because, of course. So, what are you following up with that with?
Chris, can I get in from like behind the stage?
Yes.
All right. When I hear him start to whistle, I'm actually going to step out from between the curtains and Dalu
Okay.
and stand there, looking all menacing. They have
and I
nowhere
will
to
not see
look.
them.
Okay, so.
I almost want to sit in the throne. I'm not going to lie.
I was half expecting Thornbreaker to sit in the throne.
I feel like sitting on the throne is going to be sticking my dick in it, and we've proven that that's not a good idea for me.
So Thornbreaker plants the standard in the back of the theater and says, puts his hand in his pockets and says, "You guys went through all this trouble just for us?"
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to sit on the throne.
Okay, you sit on the throne. It feels weird because you are the focus of attention of 4 dead people posed, a bunch of photos and statues and pick portraits. It is weirding you the fuck out. Like, there's also a gaggle of humans going, but that's forget them. This whole thing is set up to feel like you are being given all this attention, and it is not a good feeling for you. Okay, so
I'm gonna fight the urge to get up just because I'm fucking with them.
okay, they are staring at you. So Thornberry said you came to all this effort for us. Harmonious Flame, you're now coming to the edge of it. Your mouth sort of wet with this human blood. They stare at you for a long moment, and then one of the guys steps up. Looks slightly bare his teeth as if, makes you think, oh, hold on, there's something going on with him. You haven't caught his scent properly yet, but, and goes, "Who the hell are you?" The woman who was with him holds the arm out. "Why are you here?"
"Oh, we have an appointment with Corley Hawkhurst." He starts to walk down the stairs towards the theater.
As if on cue, the bricks on one of the walls pull away, literally rip themselves as if deconstructing the wall, clattering bricks. Brick rumbles, concrete unfurls, fresh architecture puckers as the building side bisects, ripped open into forming from it. You see down an alleyway that isn't fucking there. As into the room steps Corley Hawkhurst, who gestures, and the wall seals back up again behind him. He is there. He's looking slightly ruffled, slightly wild-eyed. He's in his suit and stuff. He looks across. Firstly, sees the people there and seems like, okay, they're here. Maybe he called them there. Turns and sees you two. Especially sees Stormbringer on the throne.
This guy, so punctual. That's what we love about him.
Gotta love it.
I told you, if you breached my territory again, there would be retaliation.
You did say that.
He points at you. You enter Death Rage.
Yes!
Dan entered Death Rage.
He gestures at Dan, and I need to quickly double check the effect of this, but it is. I can't. I need to check if it's soft or hard.
I think it just sends him to hard.
He's the closest one to me. Let's go.
He's not close to the humans. Are closer to you than he is.
Are they? Because I was up at the top.
Yes. Yeah, he's just coming through a wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like on the other side of the theater type deal.
How
Yeah,
far am I?
his mob are between you and him. He points at you, and you. Oh no, there is a roll. There is a roll. So
Oh,
can you give me
okay.
reserve plus
Alright.
composure?
Does Dan want to fail it?
Yeah, right. I'm almost saying go for it, bro.
Little bit.
Let it go. Let it fly. We have that to take you out if you need it.
Yeah,
So
but
do I add the totem's ability or no?
No, because you're not
Okay.
protecting anyone else.
No, are you
But-
sure,
but
Chris?
that's not- yeah.
He's protecting the pack from himself.
No, you don't get it on this one.
Alright. So in that case, that's 4. I got 1 success.
Okay, so he exceptionally succeeded.
Oh, God.
You slammed into hard rage.
Alright, let's do this! Alright, who am I attacking?
Well, we'll get to that.
But we have to roll initiative, right?
We'll get to that.
Oh, God, it's me.
So he's just gone like bang hard rage on you. Looking like scowling quite vexedly at you, and just like fuck you, bang. Let's have a quick look.
Oh, no.
I need to check some stuff before we drop on the next thing.
For those watching, this is also the first time Thornbreaker has entered Garu form since his first change.
And we're
Dan,
going-
don't you activate Berserker's Might?
I activate all my
free?
stuff for free every turn.
Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
I want to freaking death rage. I want to do the same thing. Damn it.
Yes, we're gonna. This is slightly narrative because of the situation rather than initiative, but
Well, Death Rage is contagious among pack mates, so...
Can I?
let's have a quick look at that as well. Yeah, that's gonna kick off as well, isn't it?
It is gonna kick off.
And specifically, we target things not in Death Rage before we target things in Death Rage.
Yes, that is correct.
That is also true.
Can I please?
Let's see. Where are we?
No,
Where's
no,
the
you don't understand. My dice pool goes from a measly 17, or I'm sorry, 15, or no, 17. I'm sorry, in
Okay.
form to
None
20.
of you are close enough. None of you are within 10 yards of him, though, so you don't have the test to enter Death Rage yet.
Keith, get within 10 yards of him.
Here's what happens. He walks in. You give him some nip, and he just goes fucking Death Rage. The impression you get, because Harmless from Stormbreaker by Sears, is that this was not a tactically planned move. He's just really
He's
pissed
just
off.
angry.
You've fucked him off. So he's gone, fuck you then. And bang, Death Rage. Now, Thornbreaker erupts into Garu form. Most of the mob immediately panic and start fucking running because
Rightfully so.
which way. Thornbreaker starts lumbering towards them. What is the plan currently? So
Well,
the
my
other
plan is
two who have choices to make.
My plan is to kill oozers to start because I get extra dice for ripping them apart. Because they're going to be putting themselves, I'm assuming, between me and Hawkhurst.
They're not trying to. They're all lunacying. They're running every which way. They're trying to get away.
Oh, there are no wolf-blooded here. Because I know
Yeah.
wolf-blooded.
They're not currently the wolf-blooded in amongst the mob. You're not quite sure how. So some of them may be running with everyone else because they've gone, "Fuck! It's a death raging werewolf." Some of them,
I actually think last night was good because we threw him off kilter with what we just did, because there's no way he would have forced you into a Death Rage like this otherwise.
So yeah, the mob is scattering every which way. They are not trying to engage anyone in
I
combat.
think
They're just trying to
I
get
think
out of the way.
Ag is trying to say something.
Yep.
I think this might be an opportunity to steal the spirit of Glisham. Because he's supposed to be wearing it on him as a necklace or something, like a fetish.
Oh, I was going to eat Hawkhurst.
I don't think you will be able to, but at the very least, we should be able to take the spirit. Or
Wait,
try to. So that is gonna be my goal for this scene. Try to get the necklace. This
Are
fetish.
you just letting Thornbreaker death rage?
I can't get out of hard rage. I can't get him out of hard
Yeah,
rage.
you
It's
can.
just
You
soft
can.
rage.
You can.
You'll-
I?
Your power can
Yeah.
drop people out of death rage. Yeah, that's
You
explicitly
can
what it
al-
does.
You can,
could-
but Ag, honestly, do it if you have to. But if
See-
not, right now I am a deterrent for all of the things that aren't
I'd like to
Hawkhurst in the
save
room.
that in case I decide to drop into Death Rage too. Because between the two of us,
Yeah.
we will kill everything.
Yeah, you can drop someone out of hard rage.
Yeah, you can.
It just works.
It just works.
Keep it
Just letting him go for now.
keep it in your back pocket, but for now, I'm wound up. Let this top spin.
How much essence do you have?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
I have 3 currently.
Okay, you pounce on the nearest person who isn't fast enough to get away. You see your packmate leap, crack down, and bite in and start ripping. This guy screams briefly until the teeth find his tear across his chest. It becomes a wet, ragged mess of blood pouring out, and he rips and he crunches and he just starts eating the guy's viscera.
Now, Chris, this is all pre-combat starting, right?
I didn't hear what Ag said. Sorry. So what was that?
This is just real quick. This is
Wait,
pre-combat.
we're not in initiative rounds here because most of you are too far away currently to do a lot directly to one another until you've closed in. And what's happening is Garu against humans. These guys are they're not fighting back. They're trying to escape. So
When he shifts, when he death rages, I'm going to drop into Urshul, which is pre-combat, I'm assuming.
again, yes-ish.
Okay.
Depends what you're going to do.
No, it changes my initiative roll for when we start the fight.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, don't need to worry about initiative rolls just yet.
Okay.
So you're entering Urshul. So what's happening is your packmate jumps on this guy, kills him in short order, and starts to eat the remains. So when you drop out, we'll tell you what your current essence value is, Stormbreaker. It's not going to be 3 anymore.
You know what? Can I join him and jump on the closest one and rip their throat out and start eating them?
Oh,
yes.
Can I join him in the madness?
wait. Really quickly, can we find out what Hawkhurst's renown totals are? Since we know that.
Oh, you
because
got the 3. You got the blood talent.
Yep.
Okay. Hawkhurst's renown is Cunning 3, Glory 2, Honor 4, Purity 2, Wisdom 3.
Wow, he's a beefy boy.
Purity was what?
2.
2.
And then finally was Wisdom 2?
Wisdom 3.
Oh, 3. Jesus Christ, this guy's...
He's
So,
beefy.
are you going to do that, Stormbringer?
Yeah, I'm going to join in the madness.
Okay, so you turn to
You
you
get caught up in madness.
down one of these guys and start ripping and eating. We'll talk about the amount of essence you gain will depend on how long this takes. Most of the rest are now scattering. Harmonious Flame, what are you doing?
I'm sitting there going, "What the fuck are you doing, guys? He's right there." So
Join
what
in the
is
madness.
he doing?
So what's he doing? He's watching, cracking his fingers, and he says, just like the dogs you are. And he is activating some stuff. Let's have a look.
Because he was out of range of us, so I was assuming that we just, I could jump in some of the madness, gain a little more essence. And,
Yeah, you can. He's not going for you currently, not at least in combat-wise.
well, when I do get
So how much essence do I actually have, Chris?
We'll get to that whenever you finish eating things, because currently it's not, your choices aren't relevant because you're death raging.
You've become a storyteller character, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get closer to him, but behind the scene so that he can't see me.
Okay, give me a stealth check then. Oh, and baby wrangling. There's some sad baby.
You know, like how I was about to... You
Okay.
succeeded in attacking the cow, Dan.
Yeah, right. So I'm gonna take like 2 good big bites. Get some good meat in there, and then I'm gonna turn and launch at Hawkhurst.
So but taking some chonk, and then it gives him some time to start firing some stuff off while you're having your nom. So let's just check this over. So can you?
That's gonna be important in this fight.
Yep. Could you please roll, Stormbringer? Could you please roll resolve plus primal urge?
Resolve plus primal urge.
Yes.
Do we get the bonus for Pack Unity, Pack Tactics, whatever it's called?
Yes.
Which is what? +1?
+1, I think.
+1, yeah.
Willpower.
That would be 2.
Oof.
I don't think this is gonna go well for me.
She might need to force you into Death Rage.
That's okay.
Okay, he's actually succeeded. So,
I-
first off, you feel a sudden sense of disconnection and doubt. You've been hit with crisis of faith. You are resting does not restore willpower to you for the fastest duration. He gains penalty bonuses against you, and you suffer penalties for. You suffer a minus. Whatever his cunning is, you suffer a penalty. We'll get to what is for participating in leading ceremonies, rituals, and other formalized expressions of ideology. So rites, principally for you. As you feel a sense of doubt, you start ripping into this guy and eating the meat of this guy as he screams as he dies. And suddenly, worms of doubt worm into your mind, going, "Should I be doing this? Isn't this a violation of the Oath of the Moon? But if I can do this, does this mean the Oath of the Moon is even worth following?" What? Yeah, there's that like thrusting sense of like self doubt worming through. He also rolls another thing, but you don't get to resist that. It's just a case of what is your composure, Stormbringer?
3.
Okay, so 3 dice off.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Something else has happened to you. You're not quite sure what, but you feel no sense of disconnection. So you feel he's just eyeing you throughout all this, watching scornfully as you finish doing it. So you've taken 2 extra. Right. You gain 2 essence over the 2 turns you spend chewing this guy up.
Perfect.
Also, you are consuming human flesh. Let's talk about that a bit, because it's not something you do and then just walk on. The guy dies screaming beneath your muzzle as you rip and tear into his meat. The taste of human flesh is both repulsive and incredible, and it is rich with essence on your tongue. It virtually fizzes with power as it goes down. There's an odd sense nearby. You look up, you see your packmate's just finished. It's still ripping through this other guy. It's just pigging in on the carcass. And there's that sense, especially with Crisis of Faith, a mixture of disgust and desire and exultation almost in the power you have gained from chewing this guy's guts down. And then you're starting to sort of charge off towards Hawkhurst. Harmonious Flame, you are moving around. Okay, at this point, I think we're going to slip into combat time.
Okay. I'm going, Chris. I'm going to activate. I'm using Drop of a Hat because I'm going to go relentless assault against Hawkhurst. So I'm artificially 3 higher for the first round.
Okay, well, tell me what your total is, including the 3. Then.
Yep.
Remember, add your Urshel bonus.
Yep. 9 plus 6 is 15. I'm at 18 for the first turn.
Nice.
Okay.
And then I'll drop to 15.
It'll take you time to get to him, but so you probably haven't been ready to melee him this turn. But right, so you were 18 this turn, yeah?
Even with speed 17?
Yes, yeah. Because you were up on the stage, you were sitting around the thing before you jumped on people, some guy fleeing nearby. So he's got a good amount of distance. But it was Stormbringer 18, yeah?
Sounds like
yeah.
And a meat eater. I would like an initiative roll from you in Garu form, even though you don't have control currently. But if I can have one from the guy treating the local scene as a bag of noms, that would be great. What's Stormbreaker's initiative?
I feel like I should have been here. I'm disappointed I'm not.
No, you need to get the ashes.
Okay. So 13 initiative review. Let me still check stuff.
Pete.
No, I don't think it does.
But it does increase your speed.
Yeah.
That's silly.
We open this round with Stormbringer up first. He's more than your full move towards him. So are you just going to book it over? Next round you'll be able to get him if you book it over this round. But is there anything else you want to do?
I'm going to pop the one of the 2 gifts. So I'm going to pop Primal Strength first in this turn and close some distance.
Okay. Right. Hawkhurst. People are running around. He snarls he snarls a command and says, "To me!" And some of the people running who are lunacy some of the people who are lunacy obviously have enough compass mentors to obey him nonetheless, though a lot of them still running. Several of them who are clearly like the woman, the big-nosed man, and some of the guys are obviously not lucid, are also rallying towards him at this point. So they're moving in close to him. Not right up, but they're in the general area. They do not appear to be actually having a go at you. They're just trying to fall in nearby their boss. They're not blocking your route to him or anything. He comes for you.
Oh,
He shifts into Urshel and bounds at you. So what is your defense?
yeah, you.
Me.
Stormbringer,
okay,
yeah.
My defense, because I retain my defense against him, only him. My defense virtual is 5.
Okay, that means I'll say 6.
What is our secret hunt bonus? What's our secret hunt special power thingy?
We can see his renown.
Oh.
Okay, he lunges at you in Urshel form with really quite significant strength. He's obviously boosted it himself. Okay, he hits you. So let's run through this quickly.
Oh God.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Let him hit me.
Firstly, 9 lethal.
I'm gonna go change him.
Ouch.
He is leg racking you with his free Urshel leg rack, and he is establishing a grapple.
Keith, you could shift into Garu and heal that off on your next turn.
I know.
He has established a grapple with you.
Excellent.
Yes, that's that. We'll power it up. That's his turn. Thornbreaker, you are currently finishing up munching somebody, so we'll get to you later. Flame.
I take control of the doors and lock them so that no one leaves.
Could you please make a clash of wills?
Oh shit.
Chris, just really quick. When he initiates the grapple with me, as best as an Urshel can, I'm going to smile at him in that welcome to Thunderdome kind of you've met your match bitch type way. Like Thornbreaker is in his Stormbreaker is glorious right now. This is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be fun.
What skills?
Sorry?
For the Clash of Wills, what?
It's the Renown plus Prime Lurge.
Dude, this guy's got renown up the wazoo. Holy shit.
Seriously.
He's been a busy boy.
Guys. No successes, so I guess I can't.
Okay, yeah, he has all doors locked the building himself. And you bounced off, unfortunately, in terms of control. Okay, so sorry about that. New round. At the top, you and Hawkhurst. I think Hawkhurst goes before you. You're on the same initiative. He's got higher dex. However, you're both going on the same thing anyway because you're both currently grappling. So it is time for a grappling dice pool.
Okay. I am going to ping Killer Instinct as well. I can do that still?
Okay. Yes.
So Killer Instinct means in Urshul, I have 6 plus the additional 3 for my purity makes it 9. Plus 5 in Brawl makes it 14. Plus the specialty in Grapple makes it 15. 16, I'm sorry. Right? No, 15. Hold on. I wrote this down somewhere. Because I kept...
We love you.
I kept trying to remember what the dice pool was. Give me a hot second. I made a note for myself.
Dude, this guy's got a meaty dice pool.
He does. He's not grappled you out of a wild active wild abandon. He is quite good at this.
I know.
So are you. I have made us roll.
I would throw a willpower at this.
Yeah, because if I beat him, it's going to be pretty beastly. So I'm going to throw a willpower, which gives me an additional 3, which means that I actually have to roll one more d10 than I took out of the bag. Hold on.
And remember, 8 again. 8 again.
Yes, oh, I know.
We don't want a repeat of you versus Jonathan Dunstan here.
Where I forgot that I was at the beginning. This is the one that likes me, is this guy here. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Seven.
Nice.
I need to know about your health track.
Oh no.
How's it looking?
It's a little rough.
There's a shift to Garu happening.
Tell me a bit more about your health track.
It's a little rough. I've got unless this is your way of telling me to shift into Garu, I got 5 empty spots.
5 empty spots. Okay, so this with lethal, this won't kill you. Good, because he's just done 12 lethal to you.
How much? 12?
12 lethal.
Yeah, that's a shift to Garu.
I rolled a lot of 10s on his grapple roll.
Fucking A!
You wrestle with him. He slams you down. You think you are stronger than him a little, but he's done something. He's using another gift that is making him incredibly hard to pin down. And so he cracks down with you. So it's 12 lethal.
Jesus Christ.
He's also, as well as triggering damage, he's going to. Does he want to do anything else? He's getting you. I'll have to check if what's good as another thing to do.
Yo.
Jesus.
If there's ever a time for me to find this urn and smash it, it's right now.
Seriously, like we need to have a little bit of a peep moment here.
We will get to that. I just need to see what his other options are for the from that. He's obviously done damage, and then
Jesus
hold
Christ.
you. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Oh, hold on. I have armor, right? So that reduces
Yes.
one of these.
Yes.
And that would have reduced one of the lethal that I took off the first thing that he
Yes.
did. Okay, hold on. That changes things.
You still should, I think you're still at a fair amount of wrapped aggravated damage, but
Not drastically, but it does. It does change things.
Yeah.
Well,
At least
I'm gonna,
yeah.
He then his second thing is break free. So he's basically grabbed you, slammed you down, and then ended the grapple. Harmonious Flame, you have seen this guy basically tackle charging the tank that is your Rahu. You have seen do horrific damage. Grab him with his jaws, slam him down, crack his leg, slam him down again, and there is just blood splashing across this whole area of
trigger when I hit aggravated.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's basically just pounding your packmate into the framing, like the wood of the steps they're on is cracking under the impact. Currently, he looks like he's just in the process of straight up killing your packmate.
Send him into death rage.
Send me into death rage would be glorious.
It would probably not be a good idea to send him into death rage because then you'll have 2 death raging packmates in the middle of the city.
I think I will be able to break through his defenses anyway.
Anyway, so that was right. Thornbreaker has finished. Is now chasing another cultist out of the theater. He's going away. So that is the current situation. What is Flamebringer? How is Flame doing?
Maybe slam Thornbreaker out of it so we can bring him into the fold on. Sorry.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, as Johnny said, because he's being useless now. So bring him out of hard rage.
Okay, so bang, Thornbreaker is stunned as he's yanked out of hard rage. Thornbreaker, you have 5 more essence than you had.
Oh, hold on. I can also spend an essence to reduce. Oh, that's next turn. I can do that.
Yeah,
because you.
Yeah. So, the new round triggers. Hawkhurst goes first because of the his initiative and your initiative dropping down after the spring loading.
Right.
This wolf like looks at you, and you think, hey, he smashed you, he's thrown you, he's tossed you aside from the grapple, and he's probably going to come and try and tear your throat out. But he doesn't. He stops and he snarls in not in first tongue because he just doesn't seem to be comfortable with it. He says in a snarled, wolfy version of "What?" He turns now. He reflexively activates this gift, which shouldn't be possible, but he does it nonetheless. And if you've thought about some way he might be able to do this, you may have pieced together why. The wall rips itself open again in a cascade of urban landscape, and this and he shifts down to Urhan reflexively and just bolts down away down this street. He is faster, I believe, than most of you, apart from possibly Thornbreaker, but we'll get back to that in a moment because, Johnny's just fucking vanished, so of course we can't get back to him. So we'll have to wait for Johnny to get back, but in aftermath, so he has broken Stormbringer's leg, so your speed is not up to chasing this Urhan form.
Oh, shit. I'm a Rahu, I can ignore that leg tilt.
You can. You can chase after him. Actually, check. Has he
Actually, you know what? Hold on. No, I got something instead. Am I between? Does he have to go around me to get to this thing that he did?
No, he went out. He's just going back to where he came at you from. Let me check his. Does he have? He could. So, speed-wise, he his action is zooming away. You can chase him if you want. You won't reach him immediately. Thornbreaker might be able to catch up with him. Can you reflexively change shape at the moment?
Hold on, I know what I can do.
Okay. Oh, you can't because you're stunned for a round anyway. Right. Okay. This may be because just to let you know what happens with this gift. Because he activated it reflexively, which you normally can't do. He's able to make his full move, and on his next turn, he's gonna close it again. By which time Thornbreaker will have come out stun, and there will be a wall in the way, basically. So the only person who can pursue in this time frame is Stormbreaker or Harmonious Flame, if Harmonious Flame wants to leave the crazies behind. Harmonious Flame or Stormbreaker can pursue, but he is currently moving faster than you.
Hold on. I don't know.
Be able to catch up with him, and he might get stuck in the wall or something.
No, I had a thought on that. No, I can't do it because I can only spend 1 essence per turn. Fuck.
Okay, so basically,
I thought you got the Primalurge too.
No, Johnny has Primalurge too.
No, Johnny does.
There's also the fact that Stormbringer is how much aggravated damage are you carrying right now?
5.
Yeah, so Stormbringer is probably not. He's tough, but he might not want to try and take this guy on by himself.
Well, no, my thought was actually this, and I guess I can't spend the experiences I have to get that Primal Urge right now.
No.
Should have done that first. No, I was gonna activate Grasp of Howling Winds and basically blow him off course, and he takes a penalty based on my purity to his speed, which should slow him down enough that we could catch up to him.
But your Primal Urge is only 1. So.
Right.
Yeah, the problem. So he's used a facet called Carve the City's Flesh, and it makes a street for him. So when it closes, it literally makes an avenue through the city for him. So even with speed 17, by the time you're out, you've gone out the building, you've loped round, you've gone after him. It's like it literally opens every path in the way for him. It makes a whole street for him to run down. Normally, this takes an instant action. You have to sit there going, but for some reason, he's able to do it reflexively. Probably because the spirit of the city is a fetish on him, which he has used to make this thing reflexive, which allows him to move around the city really, really fast if he needs to at the cost of essence. Also, there's the fact you may not want to spring straight after him anyway, given you just slapped your Rahu down and going in one-on-one might not be the best plan. But we're stuck waiting for Johnny to return from mysterious baby duties that have sidelined your Iraka suddenly. Yeah, I'm sorry about that grapple roll. I just have never rolled that many 10s in my life.
Oh, yeah. Was there just a lot of explosions?
He has a huge dice pool for it. because he has primal strength running. He's inertial. He spent willpower.
That's a moon gift, isn't it? No, it's not.
He has moon gifts anyway. He's an Eladoth, but he primal strength is a strength gift. Additionally, there is another strength gift that adds your cunning to your grappling rolls, among other things. Unchained. Yep, which he's got. It's called Unchained.
I'm going to need that one.
So he went in. His dice pool for that was 21, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
So anyway, back over to Johnny.
I'm sorry about that.
Is that
is my packmate dead?
No.
Oh, I'm alive.
He's carrying 5 aggravated damage, but he's not dead.
Okay.
So, however, we just finished off. What happened was he basically after slamming Stormbringer into the wreckage of the chair a bit, he disengaged. He carved the city's flesh to open an exit and has bugged the fuck out. Apparently, as if confused by something, which is where we switch over to Johnny.
Fuck. Fuck.
I need to get Slaughterer.
I thought you had Slaughterer.
I don't yet because it's a rage gift and I don't have rage.
Right. Okay, Johnny. So you're completely unaware of this. You've been casing the joint. So, Hawkhurst House in St. John's. It's among a leafy street, a bit like the Flameglass in many ways. It is, but it's bigger. It's a chunky. It's not what you call a mansion, but it is a rich person's house with a nice big hedged-off garden, sandstone walls. It looks really nice. It probably costs a significant chunk of your bloody estate's cost. Look at it, even though it's nowhere, it doesn't have like a big estate, whatever. It's in good condition. There's a really expensive car parked out front gate. It has CCTV and the like, but it's not too obtrusive. It is also, it is. While you are padding around, actually, give me a perception check.
I'm going to be padding around in. Is there a lot of cover for me to use wolf form to pad around in?
Enough with the neighbouring gardens that you can get into wolf form a bit. Most people aren't in their houses at the moment here, so yeah, you can get away with it.
Right. Just trying to maximize. Shit. It's a really good thing that I run away a lot.
Oh. What's your speed, Pete?
17 in Urshul. However, I can close distance a lot better than anyone in the pack can if I need to.
On. Speed. Hold on. Chris, stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be speed. Strength plus dex plus 5.
Chris, 4 successes, which is an exceptional for me.
Yep. Let me tag that in.
Oh, wait! I forgot to add my cunning to this.
Chris, quick question for you. Primal strength gives me additional speed, doesn't it?
It does increase, but yeah.
Okay. My 20. Am I as fast as Hawkhurst?
I would have to double check. Remember, you are taking a bunch of wound penalties.
I thought I ignored those as
in Garu. Yeah.
If you're in Garu, you would, yeah.
Garu. Okay.
But going off into the city might not be your number one plan.
No, I was going to chase him through the hole.
Was that 2 more successes, Johnny?
Because I know what he's doing.
I forgot that I add my cunning and renown because of Relentless Hunter.
Okay. So you scope the place out. You're checking it out. So firstly, you can smell the various smells in the place, including him and some of his cultists. There's sort of some other humans who come here back and forth. He is not here at the moment, you're pretty sure, but so you're sniffing around. You pick up Emma Coleman's scent because she's already broken in here shortly before you got here.
Fuck. All right.
She's climbed through the hedge. She's gone into the building. And she's smashed through a side window.
So I turn to the Raven. Find windows where I can see you in case I need to bug out.
Yes, I will do this. And it flaps off to find somewhere. I will watch.
I'm very specific about this because if I need to escape, I can use him as a relay point to use closer than you think.
Yep. Okay, so what's your plan here then?
Well, she broke in already. I'm gonna follow suit, but I'm gonna do it in wolf form, so I'm not on CCTV as a human.
Okay, so you're popping in. Are you going in through the broken window?
Yep.
The inside of the house is very nicely upholstered. It's a reason. He's not fantastically rich, but he's very well off, and especially given he's a cult leader and a werewolf, you can get a lot more stuff. And initially, a lot of the house is reasonably, more or less, how you'd expect. There's some things that are off about it in places, but Emma's smell trails off down into the basement of this place. But you are looking for something else. You are looking for ashes.
Yep.
And you find them fairly easily.
Yes.
The mantelpiece in the living room, there is a photo of a guy who looks a lot like the masked face you saw on Guilty Earth. It looks like he's looking quite severe in a suit. It can't be taken, it was probably taken, imagine, in the 90s. Looking at the suit, he looks a bit like Hawkhurst himself. You can see the family resemblance. In a suit, in like a photo thing next to the ashes. The ashes is a fairly unadorned container. It's fairly, austere, but yeah, that would seem to be a likely choice.
I pick up the ashes. Oh wait, the what? You said
it's up on the it's all on the mantelpiece. So are you gonna? So you're heading to ashes together. The doorbell goes. You shrug like a wolf.
I'm a wolf. I can't really do anything. Is it like a glass door? Can I see who's through the door?
No, but you can see it's coming up from the emerging from the steps in the basement. You see Emma Coleman appear. She's a bit, she has a little bit of blood around her hands, presumably where she smashed through the window, but she appears to have regenerated the damage. She hasn't seen you yet, but she's come in and she's like hiding to the side of the door. With something like a heavy, she's got a crowbar in one hand.
All right,
or metal. Then there's doorbell. Yeah, someone rings the doorbell a couple of times. Nothing much happened. So your challenge, how are you going to shift up to grab some ashes?
I'm going to shift up into Dalu to grab the ashes. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to turn. Do I see the Raven through a window?
Yes. You go to take it. It is remarkably light. Emma thankfully hasn't looked in your direction yet. So she hasn't seen you. You pick that up, and it's like, well, open. There are no ashes in here. The ringing of the doorbell has stopped, and someone is fumbling with keys in the lock.
I turn to Em. If she can see me.
She still hasn't seen you. You haven't drawn anything to attention.
She
looks up. She looks at you. Almost fucking drops the bar of whatever metal she's carrying. Kind of, where the fuck did kind of hurt? At which point the door opens.
Fuck!
Someone's coming through, and they say, "Don't worry, son. It's just Dad." An old voice. A chap is coming through. He hasn't looked up yet. It's a guy who looks different to the one on the mantelpiece, but it's a guy who has definite, pretty old, silvery hair, definite family resemblance to Hawkhurst. And he's just backing in with bringing in a box. Emma's there, like going, "Look at you!" And it's like she's trying to figure out whether she should smack this guy over the head with a crowbar or try and get the fuck out of the way. Are you trying to signal something there?
Can I make a signal like out of the way or something? So I don't want to add like assault to the list of things that could potentially go wrong right now.
She looks and not looking like she's happy about it, moves out of the way. As the guy turns, looks and sees obviously there's a smashed window. She's made a mess coming through. You've obviously moved out of the way, but you do not have the ashes. You have an empty pot. This guy is not the one in the picture, but it is definitely, again, you're seeing family resemblance to Hawkhurst. And he said, "Don't worry, son, it's Dad." So, what is
the plot thickens?
You are now hiding in the guy's living room. He's noticed that someone's broken in. Emma is hiding on the other side, just inside the kitchen, going like, "What the fuck is going on?" She was obviously planning to use what was going down as a distraction as well. Nothing that Johnny has done is the cause of this clusterfuck, and yet he is mired in it.
We make the best plans!
So while Johnny thinks of what he wants to do, I'm at a minor conundrum because I did a little bit of digging.
Oh.
And apparently Stormlord Rahus would rather die than lose a fight. And they will continue to fight until they're torn to shreds.
Yes.
That is
I
a
very much so live by the Stormlord bit of things. So I'm thinking I'm chasing Hawker.
technically he's the one fleeing from the fight, so technically you won. But
yes, you did.
You can use to him if you want. Just be fully aware that he has just done a massive pile of damage to you and might do more if you pursue. I'm not saying don't do it. It might turn the other way.
I also have a real good hunch of where he's going, and I'm not about to let Johnny get ripped to shreds by this dude. Because
Yeah,
he
it's
can
not-
fuck
that's-
me up and destroy Johnny.
Right, he's a speed.
I appreciate it. I do have plans for escaping if I need to, however. But the plot thickens with this fucking guy who bears a family resemblance to Hawkers, but he's not the guy in Guilty Earth, and I'm just like... And the ashes are not here, and I'm very, very mildly annoyed.
Well, the ash is certainly up on the mantelpiece, but then again, this guy is obviously.
By the way, because I'm a
Concealing
hunter.
thing.
By the way, because I'm a hunter in darkness and I have the fucking thing that I have to do this, I carved the symbol of the pack into the.
Okay, you haven't left the scene yet, so you're not out of it. So what is your plan here? The guy is now shuffled off. He's shuffling around the different rooms, peering around. He's starting, to see what the fuck's
So
happened.
I'm doing the whole cat and mouse thing where I am not kind of almost behind them all the time. You know what I mean?
Give me stealth plus dex.
And is this the stalking count for this? Yes.
Yes, because you're playing silly buggers with him.
You'll have to see it.
The Pink Panther theme plays in the background.
And I'm throwing in fading on this one. Chris, does Relentless Hunter still key off or not really? Because it's not my prey right now.
He's not your prey now. He's some old guy who is hapless enough to be caught up in this shit.
Feel bad for him.
He's dead, though.
4 successes.
Okay. Yes, you're capering around behind this guy, doing a shuffle. Are you easily able to avoid him? Are you going to get out of his general path? Are you? What's your plan? Are you going to keep searching for the ashes? Are you going to try?
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna keep searching for the ashes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna head up.
You move away. Yeah, as you head towards the stairs, he's now in the living room, going, "Oh no, looking at this, I better call Hawley." Corley. And you see Emma's hissing, like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Emma hisses at you quietly.
Looking for something. If he's calling Cawley, can I fucking my it's my evasion gift where
Yeah, you could. However, so she sees him going for the phone, goes, "Fuck it," and she comes out and stomps towards him, no longer trying stealth. Poor old guy turns, goes, "What?" as she is going in just to lamp him, essentially. Arms in the air. You just.
I go upstairs while she does this because I need to find these fucking ashes.
Who are you? And you hear the meaty thunk as she right hooks him in the face, and basically takes the guy, drops the guy.
Bring him upstairs.
And she didn't use the metal bar,
Yes.
So you're heading upstairs, looking around for the ashes. Now
And I tell her to bring him upstairs. And
back at the theatre. So is Stormbringer pursuing? Is the question. This is the big question. His speed is 20 in his current form.
Do I trust that Johnny's got this?
Well, hopefully Johnny's got his mission, but just Johnny have it if the Eladoth turns up.
Did Johnny get away is what I'm wondering. That's the question.
Johnny.
Do I have no faith in Johnny's abilities to fuckery to get out of there?
Johnny
No,
is
I
very.
Slippery.
Johnny is. You don't know what Johnny. I have faith in my own ability to get away. It's a question
Like
of
I
you.
said, do I trust in Johnny's ability? That's the question.
While Keith's debating this,
I'm
Chris, I have a question for you.
I'm going to turn and start slaughtering oozers because I'm pissed.
Okay.
I'm shifting into Garu and just ripping oozers apart.
Okay. Sorry?
Do I remember what I did in Garu form?
Not really, but you come up with the strong taste of human flesh in your mouth, and it tastes quite good. So most of the oozers have scattered out because a bunch of them came close to their boss when he called them, and then he fucked off. So you're able to catch some of them who are right there, and most of the rest are scattering. Harmonious Flame, what are you up to?
I'm not pursuing all by myself.
Okay, so you're rallying with them. Thornbreaker. Tasty human meat. You definitely slobbered some down there.
Yes.
You lost it. You started killing people. You're pretty sure that carcass over there that's half eaten. You're pretty sure you're the one who half ate him.
Thornbreaker is mildly upset about the fact that he may have eaten an oozer because they're bad dudes as far as he's concerned. And he gives himself a little bit of a pass because he was in Death Rage. He's more concerned about the fact that I'm assuming he sees the state Stormbringer is in, and he's not sure if he did that or not. That is more troubling to him than the human.
Stormbringer is currently just guy to pieces.
Chris, I forgot about.
He's functional.
I was gonna. I can't cash in what I wanted to do with Creeping Dread at any point, right?
No, you need to ask Creeping Dread.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could, if he might be here. No, all right, I'm fucked.
So you are searching around upstairs. Quick, so can I have a wits plus investigation for getting this done at speed, basically?
Yes, and do I add my cunning for this because of Relentless Hunter and it's related to
Yes,
prey?
you will.
Cool. I'm gonna throw a willpower on this because I really want this to succeed.
Well, that is why we have this stuff. Chris, really quick. Since I'm just going around hauling off, ripping apart oozers wholesale, can I tap into Destroyer?
Yes, you can.
5 successes. Thank you.
Okay, so you rattle around quickly. You very quickly find you pass by a door initially, you think it's just a cupboard. Then you walk through these rooms. You've got a nice bedroom, nice bathroom, some spare rooms and stuff. And after a quick bit of checking around, and you hear Emma hauling the body around downstairs and shouting up, did you find anything? You find upstairs, looking at the plan, and you think, and you go, wait, according to the floor plan, there should be space here. And you go back to the what you thought was like just a walk-in wardrobe, open that. And while it is a walk-in wardrobe, there's another door at the back, and that is securely sealed. So a bit of filling around, though. How are you going to get through it, basically? Emma's stomped upstairs, goes, the old man's knocked out. What have you found?
Secret door. Break.
Yeah, right. She gets the iron bar and basically and she shifts up to Darlu, as she seems capable of doing, slams it and starts ripping and wrecking at the door. It's taking some time, but then again, the only person who can hear you is unconscious, so that should be fine, right? This is totally fine. After all, there's a big distraction to keep Hawkhurst away from this. Crunch, crack. The door is reinforced, and then she ends up it takes about 5 minutes to smash through, rip away a bit of thing until the whole thing comes through. On the other side is a creepy shrine. This room is bedecked in a mixture of weird Anglican, Protestant Anglican church idea stuff, which is weird because the Anglican church is as uncreepy as you can generally get. There is a mixture of Christian iconography, a small shrine with a small bowl of ashes based on a little altar, and it smells of Hawkhurst's blood and cooked flesh in here.
That's what I'm looking for.
In this sealed little room with no windows, he has this shrine to whoever this person is. He mortifies his own flesh here, and it's fucked up and weird, and the guilt resonance is so strong. This is a 1-dot guilt locus.
Ooh.
It is empty of essence because he's fucking drunk it all, but there is a locus here. There is also literally curtained off. There's a wall. I think is that heavy. It's curtained. On the other side is his own creepy little dungeon where there are some cages. One of these cages has a woman in it. Which Emma sees her and is like, fuck! And is like trying to rattle it and trying to get the fucking thing open. The woman is unconscious. Looking at her, it looks like she has been hurt, but not like, it looks like she's been burnt or something. Someone said he's probably something hot, but it is not severely damaged. And like lying around the cage just outside of reach is like printed sheets, printed laminated sheets, so you can wash the blood off, of passages from the Bible. Passages from the Bible that you don't recognize as being anything that was in the actual Bible. Declarations like you are filth, you are a sinner, you are a witch, things like that. It's his own personal little box for sticking people in to break them. And well, certainly Emma's reacting that way, and is really a little horror show. Not to physically damage them too much, but to mentally torment them. You're pretty sure this room is really well soundproofed, but then Hawk has probably had this building built, and he is an architect, so he knows how to do this shit. But there's also a little bowl of ashes.
Can I throw the urn at the bowl of ashes in order to smash said bowl of ashes and to scatter said bowl of ashes, and then try to make a larceny check to free?
Yes, you can. So you smash it. Like Emma sees doing it, like it's confused and obviously focused purely on the one in the cage. But as you flip this over and kick it and smash it and split the ashes everywhere, you are then going to Dex plus larceny.
Great. 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah, I have 3 decks. My cunning is 3, and relentless hunter.
You said your result was 5, or was it?
No. I'm rolling 5 dice. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Do I have? And since, all right, I'm doing this at great personal risk. Did I refill all willpower doing this? Because of Wallflower.
Let me double check while I quickly have a check at how much you will have got back from Wallflower.
Also, do we want to destroy the ashes, or are we looking to
Yes, you've got full willpower regained.
procure the ashes?
I don't know. I scattered them. It's going to be really hard to pick up all the ashes. Johnny panicked. Johnny panicked.
Roll your larceny check. With
Sorry.
If you wish.
Sorry if I messed this up, Dan. I panicked. Do I have all willpower?
Yes.
Cool. 3 successes. Not good.
We're almost finished for today, by the way, because I know Keith's deadline is coming up, but we're almost done. Okay, so you start working on it. It takes you longer than you'd like to crack the lock, but you get it done. Quickly back to the 3. Thornbreaker and Stormbringer are both drenched in blood. The last of the nearby oozers who was in arm's reach have long since fled and got the fuck out of there. There are several corpses scattered around from Thornbreaker's work and then Stormbringer killing whoever was stupid or slow enough to remain nearby. You have run out of people in your immediate vicinity to off. What's Team Gonzo doing?
So you said there was lantern oil?
Yes, in a barrel in one of the side rooms. Yeah.
Good. Lots of bodies, lots of lots of evidence. Burn the building down. Dude, we gotta hide the evidence.
Okay, so you're rolling the canister out to soak the bodies and set things on fire.
Thornbreaker turns to Harmonious Flame and says, We need to find Johnny. Hopefully he has the ashes by now.
I'm sorry. You know what?
Grab a dustbuster. Vacuum them up.
Okay, no, wait, hold on. So, Harmonious Flame. I'm sorry, we're going to do something.
But just remember that things I can telepathically connect to him.
Almost none of that came through. Sorry.
Could you hear me now?
Yeah.
I just remembered that Pact Awareness allows me to telepathically speak to people.
Yes. What's your range on it?
I don't know.
Because you have a range.
I think it's equal to your wisdom or whatever renown it's keyed off of.
Miles.
And
Are
he's
you
out
with them on Oh, okay. So I can do that, but I'm gonna text him. He's,
Okay.
Got those
he's
ashes
coming
yet?
back.
Okay, so Stormbringer starts soaking the area in lantern in the fuel for the lanterns. You found the lanterns in another room. They're like these they're literally little things. They're obviously meant part of some ritual thingy. You start pouring stuff out, and you're gonna set it on fire. Harmonious Flame, you're texting Johnny to say he's on his way, and Thornbreaker saying that you should go there because that's where he is.
Okay.
Is that the plan? Is Team Gonzo going to head towards Hawkhurst's home?
I am for it.
I think we light the place on fire and then head towards Hawkhurst's home.
Okay.
There's too much act. If I had not been like ripped apart and bled all over this place, I would have said, "Fuck it, leave the bodies, let's go." But my blood's all over the place.
It's true. Now there is one thing.
That's one thing.
There is a detail that needs to be addressed. How you're getting there. Stormbringer and Thornbreaker, you can wash yourself so you are no longer completely drenched in blood, especially because you were in non-human forms when you were doing the killing, so it's not soaked into your clothes. Obviously, you want to get over there as fast as you can, and it's a little over a mile, which isn't going to take you long, but it is a little bit of distance. Are you going to wolf form and be wild dogs running through the streets of the town, or are you going to book it?
See.
Look,
I'd like to point out
We can be.
shit has hit the fan. Let's just go Urshul and book it through.
You know, I just thought something actually.
Oh shit.
No, not a bad thing. I might have got the distances a bit wrong. It might be within a mile. I'm just waiting. Can you do? Is there a quick way to do a distance check in Google Maps?
Yeah.
I can never remember.
Only you have to put both directions in the direction thingy.
No, that gives you the total route. It doesn't give you the,
The
as
straight
it
line
goes
between
like.
two
Actually,
points.
Yeah, but Chris,
thinking about it.
We're in again.
1 second. I'm just going to check. No, you are within a mile. Sorry, just looked at. You are within a mile, so you can telepathically tell stuff to Johnny. I think if you.
So that would have
Right, let's
changed what I wanted to do, but I broke the ashes anyway. I'm going to TS it. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. But then she can communicate through saying, "Can you lick them up or whatever?" I don't know. So let's double check. So are you spending essence to talk to my
Yes, I'm spending essence to talk then. My last
Okay.
essence.
Right. Yep.
But I have a
Are you there?
hostage. Yes, I found the ashes and I kind of panicked and I broke them and it's bad here. It's bad. Emma's here. It's a clusterfuck.
Dustbuster.
Sounds good. Hawkhurst is on his way back. Pick up whatever ashes you can and get out of there.
Yes. I pick up some ashes, put them in my pocket.
Take the hostage!
Wait, I eat the ashes.
So are you grabbing some ashes?
Yes, I am grabbing some ashes.
Okay.
Take
So
the
the
hostage.
party.
Oh, wait.
We'll
Wait
get to
a
that.
minute. Can I smear myself in these ashes? I have a theory, and I don't think he can do anything to me if I'm covered in these ashes.
You,
So
if you want, you can if you want.
Yes.
So, and then you three. So, are you going to start running through? What's your plan to get over there as quickly as you can? It is less than a mile.
It's the fastest.
I have a theory. It's a crazy theory. But
Are you? You're right. Ahan is fastest, but is that the form you are taking for going through the daylit streets?
Are we just running a few?
This is not something I would want to do, but
Oh, there's lunacy. Never mind.
no, Erhan won't cause lunacy, but Urshul would.
Urshul would, right?
That's what I mean.
So lunacy from Urshul, they'll explain it away in their heads what they saw, right?
Potentially.
They might panic, but they're likely to explain away what they saw.
There's different degrees
Sorry,
of lunacy.
guys, we had a glitch there. We didn't catch any of that.
I said that the lunacy from Urshul, after the fact, they will reconcile in their heads what they saw, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Moderate
Yes.
lunacy, yeah.
Yeah.
So, your plan is just fucking lunacy it through town.
Utilize the cloak of lunacy to get us where we need to go.
Oh god.
So Team Gonzo are going to Urshel through town, going, fuck it, lunacy will protect us.
We have a pack mate in danger!
Team Animal, which is Joy and now Emma, you guys are heading downstairs. She has got her sister like strung over arms, or dragging her down.
I've got the other guy.
You've covered yourself in ashes. You come down as the door crumples, like the masonry around the building's entrance cracks and crumbles to show a street where there isn't fucking one, and into the front of the house.
I turned
in
Emma.
Barlow form. He turns out here and just blood spattered, wild-eyed, outraged. Now we'll pick that up again next time where we left off. There's a couple of things to tackle today. Before we get to aspirations, it's time for some harmony rolls. Right. So, people who need to make harmony breaking point checks. Starting with... So... Oh, sorry, I'll get to Ag in a minute. So, Johnny, have you done anything particularly dubious? I don't think you have. I think you might be okay.
I am.
You've been reasonably...
I've been
I'm gonna
reasonably
say-
harmonious.
Smearing someone's ashes over yourself is a breaking point, but it's a breaking point towards spirit, but it is only a very mild one. So it's a +1 die. You're adding +1 die to your roll, breaking point towards spirit, because you are literally using these remains as what you think is a ritual tool and doing all sorts of stupid shit with it.
Resolve plus composure, right?
Resolve composure +2 for your touchstone, plus another one. It's a very mild break. It's going to be a very mild breaking point.
Oh, so I get +3 to this? Jesus.
It's very unlikely you'll fail it, but because it's not likely to make you go, shift. But it's.
Oh, by the way, this was one of my This was one of my aspirations to suffer a breaking point
Okay.
towards spirit. So worked out.
Okay. Make it. Let me know how you do.
Yeah, I'm making it. Two.
Okay, you're fine. Thornbreaker. I need multiple breaking points for you. I need
Damn
a
it.
breaking point towards flesh with a -2 penalty, and a breaking point towards spirit with a -3 penalty.
Okay, so what's the roll?
So resolve
It's resolve plus composure. You have +2 for your touchstone because you have touch composure, and then that's cancelled for flesh and cancelled, and another -1 on top off for spirit. Stormbringer.
What's the roll again? Just real quick.
It would resolve +1 +2 for your touchstone. However, you would need a breaking point towards flesh that has a -2 penalty, and a breaking point towards spirit that is a -3 penalty. If you fail both, you literally go nowhere. But yeah.
So I get my willpower, which is 5,
+2 for your touchstone.
+2 for my touchstone.
Yep,
Minus
and
two.
then
Then
-2 for the breaking
what
point
is it?
towards.
You're rolling a
minus
flat
two. -2 for the breaking point towards flesh for the first roll, and -3 for the breaking point towards spirit.
Primal Urge does not factor in. So it's just straight willpower plus touchstones.
Yes, and then the penalty of applied to it.
Okay. That is 3 for the flesh. And 1 for the spirit.
Okay, you haven't shifted. You are feeling your harmony is not moved, despite blatant violations. Anything from Thornbreaker there?
So I passed the one against the flesh. I failed towards spirit. So I
Okay,
actually,
it's perfectly
Wrong
balanced.
towards
I
spirit.
am now perfectly balanced.
Harmony is flame. Are you taking part in Operation Run Like Wolves Through the Streets? Okay, can I please have a breaking point towards flesh with a -2 penalty? Okay, so you haven't shifted either. So no one has break. So Team Gonzo, where?
Creature that I
Oh,
Killed?
yes, that's what you killed a human. That's a flat breaking point towards spirit. That, by the way, was Gristle, who was the thing you had to kill for the fox spirit.
Oh, you killed Bristol.
Nice.
passed
So
sadly.
no shift in either direction. Okay, yeah, he's. I'll explain what he is another time. But because we get stuff, so Keith can go and do stuff he needs to go and do. Finishing up, what's Team Gonzo tearing through the streets as Urshel just fucking lunacying because it'll get in there quicker. Team Animal standing in there with bodies over their shoulders going, we'll start off next time picking that up. Aspirations. Ag, what aspirations will we hit for Harmonious Flame? None of this is transmitting.
Destroy Hawkwood and his cat. Doing it. Well, I talked about it. I wore a t-shirt.
Yep.
And survive encounter with Gilded Earth. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Next, Johnny.
Find out who is sending the tax man against me. It's just taxes coming against me.
Yes, I'll give you the point, but yeah, okay.
I got rid of the breaking points towards Spirit because I didn't think it was going to happen. Make progress against Hawkhurst, certainly. And survive against Guilty Earth, certainly.
Nope, they both froze.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't catch the third one because we had another blip.
Survive against
that's
Guilty
me.
Earth.
Yep, okay. Thornbreaker?
Survive against the Guilty Earth. We did. Work towards freeing Jenny from Hawkhurst. We're making progress, I would like to believe. And get some resolution on a prophetic dream. I did.
Yes, and finally, Stormbringer.
Okay, survive the encounter with Guilty Earth. We did. Further the relationship with Emma. I don't know if Pete's little shenanigans is going to count that because of the.
I'll be generous and allow it, even if it wasn't your direct thing.
All right, yeah, because the whole point of that is I want to bring her into the pack.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
And then the last one is remove the architect's claim on land. Even though he
making progress.
About lube, I think I still help.
Okay, so you got especially because of the Sacred Hunt condition, you got shitloads of beats in that. There is one more XP for everybody and 17 beats left over.
Nice.
Big.
Actually, did we make progress towards adding to our war banner because of the totem?
I'm going to say no, not meaningfully. Even though next time, if you add Emma, then you'll all tag that. But no, not for now. So we leave things off. I think next session is likely to be the culmination of possession, as shit goes. As basically the part you have now broken whatever to taunt existed, and it is now a case of everything is going to shit to the wall, and who, can you take him out, or is he going to completely fuck you one way or well? It's going to happen very promptly now. So,
go on.
Thank you very much to the viewers, anyone who watches this on YouTube later. One thing I would say slightly about the structure is I am pushing things towards a quite high-speed resolution now because we've got some stuff with scheduling and things. That means we want to get this story done probably without too many more sessions. But I think it will probably just be now one more session to conclude it anyway. There will almost certainly be all sorts of loose ends left hanging, but then that's how these things tend to work. But I think next time we'll see a resolution of the Hawkhurst situation, at least.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's all from me. Is there anything else from anyone else? I think that's it for us today.
Just logistically to let you guys know, we'll keep you in the loop. So I think we're going to be skipping this coming weekend. We'll play the following Sunday is the plan. But again, once we get this wrapped up, as Chris mentioned, there's going to be some loose ends. We'll see if we'll then continue to Story 3 or not, but we'll keep you guys in the loop through the Paleo Gaming Discord, through our Twitter pages. There will be some information coming out as to when we plan or if we plan or how it will look moving forward. So again, thank you everyone for your support. This will end up on YouTube by the end of the day, where we also have all of the chapters for both stories completed so far. For anyone who needs to catch up, who may be joining us a little bit later, we appreciate your guys' support and interaction. We get some funny interaction in the chat all the time. So thank you everybody, and we will see you soon.